Alright then, let's go. Let's get some cracking on this motherfucker right here. Shit. And we should be licensed. Alright, it's 10:30. Let's do this then. Alright then, what's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. Welcome to episode 75, man. Fucking hell, I've done this 75 times in Dank's Daily Trades. How you guys doing, man? Had a very interesting push up in the market. The market looking quite decent there. There's a flush at the system, flushing out all the shorts out there. Too many people have been bearish as well. And I was telling the guys at the DCC yesterday that just be careful. Don't be suckered into the idea of actually short. I mean, crypto is actually looking for shorts. I mean, you get people talking about, oh yeah, we're going to 12k, 10k, bro. We're not going to go there just yet. And look what happened there. Most people got fucked over. So now the question is, right, is what's going to happen now? Do we carry on going higher? Do we go to 21, 22, 23, 24, 25k? We don't fucking know. Or do we actually break down here? All right. So that's the key thing that everyone's trying to worry about. Everyone's trying to figure out, and just watch how crypto, everyone's going to be mega bullish right here. They're all going to be crazy bullish. And they'll be like, yeah, I told you so. Bro, shut up, man. Now listen, there's two ways to play this, right? You either play this lower time frame and you can flip your bias, or you play this on higher time frame and you were bullish from higher time frame. All right. We'll talk about this in a moment in terms of like a recap of yesterday, the trade I've done, what I was looking for, and I'll show you the chart that I showed the guys, and we'll play this out exactly how I was looking at, and then we go from there. So I just want to give a quick shout out to these guys. Who's here? We got Asgard. How's it going, brother? It's been a while since I last seen you, man. We got Cruz in the house as well. Good to have you here. We got Justin. We got TCX. You good, guys? We got Guna. I never give up. Gandalf. Yeah, you know what is. Asgard saying like didn't think that we're gonna get that bounce. A lot of people was thinking the same thing. I'm gonna break down what I was looking at and how I was looking at this, right? And I even showed the plan to the guys yesterday. Plus, I even said, guys, just be careful, right? Don't be suckered into it. Too many mans are bearish. So we'll see how it goes. We got Goonie here, got John Caboose here, Ed's in the house. Piotr, what's going on? Good, man. That's all good. So let's just talk about this actually. Before I actually bring this up, let me bring up the chat. Where was it? So DCC, give me a moment there, BTC. So there's a BTC plan and then there's an ETH plan, right? So I'm going to bring this up first and then this is it. So this was the plan that I was looking for, right? You see how we got this here? Got a downtrend on lower time frame. We got Monday's high, we got Monday's low here, and this is the key level. What was this level though? That was June's low, right? So the moment we find out support in June's low over here, support, come back as a deviation, get back up and hold support. You see this here? You see this low here? This low came back, found support again. So this was all a deviation of this SR, found support, and I was like, all right, cool. Because what happened was when we came out of here, broke market structure on the upside. Broke market structure, and I was telling the guys, this is what it is. We've got this downtrend over here. I was quite happy to come back into here, a reclaim to this SR from this low over here on the 15-minute time frame, looking at the lower time frame and whatnot for a trigger, and then that'll be your longs, and we're playing it, and because also we're above the mid range, because price was chopping around the mid range, and once we find support off that 15-minute, this is your confirmation. This was your confirmation, and then you can play it to 75%, and then range higher. Then we'll see what happens there. Obviously, we know what happened with BTC. You fucking ripped like a motherfucker. So just bringing up on the chart itself, let me just explain this to you. Same situation here. I'm gonna draw this out there and you guys can see. So we got the downtrend that was over here, right there, and you can find it. You can see this, find support over here, all right? And then I was looking for a reclaim of this low here, would have been it. So you had time, right? So we had broken market structure on this upside over here, all good, happy days, come back down, came back down, looked kind of scary, but the thing is, right, yeah, we came back in here. I was looking, okay, if he's gonna have a short, we should break down here, and then that will be a short scenario. This is for like a lower time frame play. Didn't give us the short scenario. Came back up and then found support off the mid range. Bang on. Reclaim this level here would have been good. You can see here, bounce once, bounce twice, come back in, bounce the third time, finding support over here. So you could have entered there, right, with a stop loss. My stop loss was here anyway, and then playing up to there. And even if you, what, that was a 3.3R move or some shit like that. What was it? Let me find that for you. Yeah, it's a 3.2R move. Let's say go 3.3R. Even if you want to come into this area here, to this bounce over there, you're still making a 2.5R, a 2.3R trade there. Happy days. Target went up, broke Monday's high, took out liquidity there. And where are we at right now? Let's have a look. I can delete that. Don't need this no more. And we come up into this area here. We'll discuss what this area is in a bit, right? We'll just discuss this in a bit. But we're finding resistance here. It's not a problem. Resistance, 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 and we're starting to break down. No problem. So if you held that high, if you held the trade, I mean, we talked about the swing trade on a higher time frame. We'll get that in just a moment. But just talking about just the trade plans that that was available in the DCC. The second one was on Ethereum as well. So I posted this one on Ethereum. Let's have a look. So bring this up. This was at I posted this at 2:30 UK time. The next one was this. All right. Monday's high, last week's Monday's high, last week's Monday's low. The lows was over here, and obviously we're range banding in this area here. We're all range banding in this area here as it is, no problem there. We found support off the low, come down, support, 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 not a problem there. Comes up, reclaims the 25% of the range, and now this was the next range I was looking at. Okay, so you can play it from here, right? From this area. So we're looking for a breaking market structure. Why? Because we took out these highs over here, took out these highs over there, and we're holding it. So retest off this low, or this very low. It's an SR. You can see a deviation, support. All this was support there. Comes back down, finds resistance, come back down. There's a deviation, another set of deviation. What the fuck? You shouldn't be doing another set of deviation there. But then what happened is breaks the market structure. And I was looking for a long, going to mid-range, reclaim the mid-range after there. As soon as we take out this high over there, this is your next set. You can compound over here, back to 75%, then range high. What's happened with Ethereum? Let's have a look. If I bring up Ethereum, the Ethereum chart, and where is it? ETH USDT. Here we go. That's it. I'll draw the same thing out for you guys, so you guys can see. So I was looking for this low here. Was it this low? This low here. You see that? Let me just make that a bit more wider. There we go. So I was looking for this low here. Right, that's an SR there. And then these highs over here would have been another, that's the range band play there. Okay, because what we got here, a range band environment over here. We got a deviation, come back down, break down, take out these lows here, finds resistance off this area. There's a short down to the Monday's low, takes out Monday's low, and this is where it gets interesting here, right? This is where it gets really interesting here. You see this low here? Make a new lower low, and this is a high low, right? Finds support, gets back up, goes up, and then he comes back up to the 75% range, comes into this area, finds support here, once, well, he finds support many times, once, there's a little deviation, there's another support there, another support there. So you had plenty of entry over here in this area there, no problem. I entered into here a bit more aggressively, a bit more in position. The reason why I didn't want to miss it out, because you see this high here, I was looking for this high. Once we enter this high there, I was like, okay, the breaking market structure, as long as this is hold, this is a low, this is the low. This is the higher, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It was making that kind of thing, higher high, higher low, and bang, off you fucking go. And there we go. Just using simple market structure, and off we go. And then I entered here. I mean, I could have entered a bit more aggressively, would be perfectly around this area here, would be nice. But never mind. Find resistance on the mid-range. You see? Mid-range, find resistance, resistance. And once we break above it, hold it, support, and it doesn't give time. Find a quick support there, doesn't give another time. Find support here, doesn't give time, and then bang, off it goes. And then that's it. Trade is done. I mean, this one was this particular trade was 2.4R, so I was quite happy with that. Remove that, and that's it. And that's the trade done. You know, short-term trades. Fuck it, let's go. Let's see what's next then. You see what I've done? Yeah, I'm just playing within the range band environment, from the low to the high, just playing it back and down. That's what I'm doing. I don't give a shit about higher prices. I'm playing it as it comes, and then we just go from there. That's it. Once we break out and hold above it, then we play higher prices back up to 1440 and X, Y, and Z. So that's that. Just want to touch base on BTC in terms of the higher time frame. I discussed this yesterday, right? I'm going to delete this just for a second, and I'm going to talk about this just now, right? So go on the 15 minutes. Oh, that was a 5 minute chart. That is fuck. 15 minutes, right? Actually, fuck it. It's gone the 1 hour. No, fuck it. 4 hours. I said this yesterday quite clearly, right? For everyone to see, and it was open. I said to you, right, is that we're at macro support. See support over here? Let me just hide this there so I can see what's going on. Yeah, there we go. So you see macro support here? This is June's low. We come back up, made June's high. There's a deviation, right? Stop run, deviation, come back down, and we play all the way down to June's low. There's a stop run, right? Comes back up to mid-range. There's a deviation in the mid-range, comes back down to June's low. Now look what happened here. Bear man's, right? Too many people was bearish around here. Don't get me wrong. I was looking for shorts. Lower time frame, I was looking for shorts. I'm not gonna say that. Oh yeah, I was long. No, that's not true. For lower time frame, I was looking for shorts, right? Looking for shorts to take out liquidity potentially. See if we can come out and take out liquidity over here, right? This is what I was looking for, like a potential move. I'll be quite happy with this, come like that, and reclaim, and then let's play back up. Off we go, right? Do a stop run of this. I would have been quite happy with that. But the fact he wasn't giving it to me, and he was finding support off June's low, you have to switch bias. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna be bearish, like a motherfucking dickhead. And what's gonna happen to me? I'm gonna either get stopped out, or I'm gonna miss the long. That's the two options, right? Either I enter a short, I'm gonna get stopped out, or I'm gonna enter a long. You gotta look at the probability. The probability is always like this, right? When you're at support, you can't be shorting at support. So I start looking at 2 o'clock, right? Yesterday afternoon. I start looking at it. And I was like, all right then, what's going on, right? Let's just clear out the bias. Let's clear out all the fucking negativity. Let's clear out the whole, let's go short. Let's aim for lower. Bitcoin's going to 12K. Fuck that shit. Let's work this level to level. See what this level to level meaning. And level to level was literally this. I can see clearly support, deviation, come back in, find support, deviation, come back in, deviation, come back in, support. And you can see slowly, right? Two things. Number one, you see this low here? Find support. That is an SR. We've got a deviation of the SR, deviation of the SR, and a support of the SR. Perfect. Happy days. Right? That's number one. Number two, you see how this is going? We're going higher lows. That's a higher. That's a low. That's a higher low, and that's a higher low. So market structure is good. Lower time frame was already giving me a breaking market structure. Okay, so I did that. Now all I gotta do is just work out what is the range bound play, what we're doing level to level. And I said to you clearly that if you want to play, you can play, right? Enter around here, wherever we were yesterday, with a stop loss here. You're wrong here. If you want to give an invalidation level, you're completely wrong once we come out here. Because if we take out this low over here, then what's going to end up happening is we're going to end up looking for lower prices. Because then either we look for lower prices or we do something like this. Reclaim and then come back up, and then we're going to find out, is this a deviation of the range, or then we step back in, or is it a retest for us to play back lower? This is your confirmation for shorts. Off you go. Fucking send this back down to wherever it needs to go. But he wasn't giving me that. We're playing lower time frame. It is coming to end of month. It's coming to end of month, and I was saying this to the guys, coming to end of month, be a little bit careful. It is what it is, okay? And here we are. Here we fucking are. Now, all we gotta do is see what happens next now. Right, let's have a look. What's going on there? Fucking hell. 1 second, guys. Come on, smash up the likes, everybody, man. 50 people here. And we've got how many? 15 likes. What the fuck's going on here, man? We got Joe Creighton, man. How's it going, Joe? Nick here. Pirates here. Good. Joel here. Oh, man, what's going on? Big man's in the house as well. Morning to you guys. It's fucking Monday. Oh, no, it's Tuesday now. Right, so now we're broken up. What do we do now? Right, it's all good. Right, we know the bullish play is, and like, again, if I had a stop loss here for a swing play, I'm looking for a reclaim of the 25% range, right? Going back into 21.6k. This area, I think it comes down to about 21.7. That's where it is. And that's the macro range, right? Looking at the June's range itself. Then from there, we'll see what happens. I mean, we could do this, right? We could go back up, right? Come back into this area. Now the question is, do we reclaim and hold above it? If we hold above it in this bullish market structure, continuation of the price, then we go back to 75%. And then we're looking to range high. Back to 24.6k. We'll see what happens there. I don't really fucking care if it goes up there. I don't really care if it goes back down. I'm just playing this level to level, and that's what it is. I'm looking at trades at where it comes at. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, what could happen is when we come into this area, is we break down, lose a low, and then we start shorting it back down into here. You see this thing, I can't even speak, back to 25% of the range, and then we see how we react. Do we hold above it, or do we lose it? If we lose it, let's go back down to June's low. Level to level. Now, interestingly enough, right, is if you look at where is, I'm putting Monday's range back in again. The 19th, right? That's the 19th. Yeah, there we go. There, and that's in blue. So now that's Monday's range. That's one thing is last week's Monday's range were broken out of it. Clearly see. So then I'm looking for a reaction because we can see there's breaking down over there. Either we come back into last week's Monday's high, hold support, find support, off we go, target 1, and let's see if we can go into target 2, into these areas here, and then squeeze to mid-range. Or do we come into this week's Monday's high? Now, that's a really important thing now. So we have to be very careful what we do. This is Monday's high, yesterday's high, this is yesterday's low. Right? Or do we come back down, play back into here, play back, and then hold support off Monday's high, find support there, play back down, off we go, target 1, and then target 2. You know how it goes. Right? That's the way we're looking at it. We're all completely wrong once we get back in and find resistance to a Monday's high. And then we come back to the mid-range of last week's Monday's mid-range, and then do we lose this area here, take out liquidity down at Monday, this Monday's low, and then this is also June's low. So we gotta play this level to level, nothing too crazy, don't get too fucking excited about it as well, but we play it level to level, see what's going on. So let's have a look what we got here. Any questions, guys? So let's have a look then. Yo, I got 18.95 followers. Is that right? Nah, I swear I got more than that. I think I got 1900. Let me have a look. Yeah, I got 1900 followers. Shit. Fair play, man. Another 100 more to get to 2K. Shout out to all you guys for subscribing, man. I really appreciate that, man. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, man, and then you'll see what the deal is as well. We've been killing this market as we go along. So, we just play level to level. Anyway, so Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. How are we going to play this now? So, two things. Let's go on the 1 hour. Actually, no, let's fuck this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to leave that range there for now. I'm going to put this range here as well. Just to overlap it, see how it works out. Put this in black, right? Let's not get confused. So the blue range, right? Let's talk about the blue range. The blue range is the last week's Monday's high. And the black range is this week's Monday's range itself, right? So that's what we're looking at, right? Between this and this, that's what we're looking at, level to level. Nothing too crazy. Let's go down a lower time frame and see what we got. And as you can see right now, we're finding some sort of resistance. What are we finding resistance? Well, we're finding resistance of this area here. You see this high over here? That's the key area where resistance is being found. Now, how do we play this on a short-term bias now? If I go on the 15 minutes now, right? You see this? Right? You see when we first came back in? First came into here, did a stop run. That's a stop run right there. And we broke down. You see this low here? If you want confirmation, now if you want to enter a short, by all means to play back down to, let's say, at least to a minimum, let's say up to here, right? You could do so with a stop loss up here, right, above the highs that we just showed there. That's a valid trade. Where your confirmation is you see this low here? Once we lose this low, right, we come back down, we can range band into this area. The moment we lose this low, that's target 1, and then we're looking for target 2 to squeeze into there, right? Then from there, we'll see what happened, how we react to last week's Monday's high. Do we actually hold above it? And if we hold above it and reclaim this area here, that is your trigger to cut the trade. We're potentially going back up to this area here, back into the box. Or do we actually lose the level and step back in, because we got all this inefficiency here, to step back in, to play back into this week's Monday's high. And then you can carry on and up your next target. Then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we hold above it? And if we do, happy days, that your target, you're long, you can play back up to this area, and then squeezing into this area here, that's 2, and then squeezing into this area. That's short-term playing. That's what we're talking at short-term. That's how we'll be looking at. If for whatever reason we decide, if price decide to say, you know what, fuck you, we're gonna actually, let's bring this up like that. Right, yeah. If price decide to say, you know what, we're gonna play back into Monday's high, because we come into here, into Monday's range, and we start stepping in and start breaking down. Okay, no problem. How do we do this? Carry on with the shorts. That'll be target 1, 75% of the range, and then from there we see if we can squeeze into, take out liquidity over here into Monday's mid, and that's it, level to level, and that's taking a short all. What the fuck, swearing outside my fucking yard. Yo, you good, fam? My yard in it. Just move out in it. Less. Oh fucking hell, man! I swear down, man. Pakistanis, man. Fucking lost in the fucking plot sometimes. Well, basically, what it is, I'm in an area called Solihull. It's a quiet area. It's a proper Gora area, proper white area. So there's a certain etiquette you gotta live in it, and the way you talk and stuff like that. You can tell by the people over here, very professional people that actually lives here. But anyway, some youngsters just outside my yard. He's on the phone, just swearing in it, just swearing out loud and whatever, saying I'll fucking kill you and this and that. I'm like, yo, Rob, like, piss off in it, man. Go to Alan Rock in it. Waste, man. Anyway, I'm a bit funny like that, you know, like, don't you well, I don't think anyone should deal with like this kind of behavior outside your house, innit? But anyway, fuck that. And then I'm not no fighter. I don't, bro. I'm 30, man. I don't fight no more. Fuck that shit. I'm too old for this motherfucking shit now. But still, no, but for real though, like if you can actually be outside and start swearing and disrespecting my yard outside, you're literally outside my yard, just hanging around, just on the phone. That's what it is. Just like, you good. Just move on in it. Just jog on and find somewhere else to go to in it. In my yard, yeah, no, but he looked at me. He's like, but he looked at me like as if he's confused, as if why I'm actually fucking telling him you're good in it. I'm like, my yard in it. Then I think he clocked on. He put his hand up and he moved on, which is cool. Like, I'm not here for a fight, but just don't do this shit over here. Go to the areas that where, like, you know, there's rough areas, these Pakistani areas, Indian places as well, where fights happen, but not here, man. Come on, guys, man. Fucking have some respect, especially when you're in like it's all this here. It's all people that live here, man. Most of them here are all white people, old white people, and now you got some fucking Asian guy talking shit, talking loud and whatever. Of course, it's gonna cause us problems here. You know what I'm saying? White people start looking at us like, yo, these fucking Pakis coming into our land, our country, take our houses and our jobs. They're already upset that we're taking out their jobs. Apparently, they're already upset. Every white person wants to be a doctor, a dentist, or a pharmacist, an optometrist, or even an engineer. But we're coming here taking their jobs, apparently. So I don't know what's going on. But then you have behavior like this. You just fucking make it worse for yourself, man. It makes it harder for us, innit? Us brown people who just want to live a normal life and just get on with our life, innit? But anyway, fuck these guys. What's it? What's everyone saying? AD's in the house. We've got Marta. What's going on, Z? What do you think of my BTC plan I posted today? Let's have a look. I'll tell you something about Cruz though. Cruz, right, in the group, he's going hard. Where did you posted it on Cruz, man? Was it on the lounge? It is in the lounge, or was it in the setup? Was it? Let's have a look. Oh, I can see the chart. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's valid though. It's valid. I think that's good. So just be patient about your setup right there. We'll talk about this in the thing in the group, innit? Yeah, we'll discuss this in the group. But Cruz is killing it, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out to Cruz, man. Crypto Cruz, fucking working harder, man. He's working his ass off. I gotta give you that. We got Fatif here. What's going on, Goonie? Akuriano, what's going on? Don't worry about it, man. I'm good. How about you, man? Where would you have stopped for a swing? Is there a new invalidation in your opinion? Not really. For a swing, there's not a new invalidation. I'll tell you why. All right. For me to have a new invalidation, right, I want to see price. Let's just remove all this for a second. Right. I want to see price do its thing over here, whatever it wants to do. We've got this thin movement here, which we're looking for to play a short-term short of here. And then once it comes back up, right, and reclaims, right, see this high there, reclaims there, that's my trigger, right, for me to enter to go up higher. Then I have a new invalidation. Then from here, I can bring this down to, I don't know, maybe here, for example, up to this low here, if I want to keep it there, or see how the price action is, and might be bring it to here. It'll be a bit more aggressive there to do, I should move it over here, because if price comes back up and decides to actually do a deviation, a short-term deviation for a stop run, then you don't want to get stopped out. So I like to bring it level to level and let us reclaim one level at a time. That's the key. Reclaim a level, and then we can actually bring a new invalidation. Bringing it over here, for example, over here, bring it over here is really tight. I wouldn't want to do that. Not on a swing trade, but I would like to bring my swing from there to there and then compound my position going higher. Okay? Hopefully that helps there. What's going on, Daniel? How you doing, brother? Leanne's in the house. How's it going? And Blanque, what's good? What's good, brother? Right then, so let's get back into work now. So, where are we looking at? Let's bring everything back into place. Yep, 15 minutes. And then we're talking about the shorts over here, right? So, like I said, confirmation is we lose this low over here, for example. You can find it as support over here. It might bounce off here, let it do its thing. The moment it loses below it, then you can play it level to level, as we discussed, from there to there, and potentially come back to here to here. We'll see how it goes level to level, right? There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to rush. Just remember, you see this fast movement up there, eventually it's going to get filled out. Will it get filled out today? Probably not. Will it get filled out tomorrow? We don't fucking know. Maybe Thursday, maybe next week or 2 weeks time. We don't know. But it will eventually get filled out. Remember, just be very patient on it. You got to have a setup. When you have your setup, the key is being patient behind the whole thing. There's no point actually saying, yeah, I'm going to start shorting right now. I mean, unless you, like I said, if you want to short now, the only way for me to short where I'm going to place my stop loss is here. Above this high here. And it's fair enough to say that, because it go high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and this is when it starts grinding out. So this is like a low, oops, high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then the moment actually no, I wouldn't say that. There we go, lower high, lower low. Take out this low over here, and then we start going to a lower high here, and then we're seeing, hang on a second, this is not fucking weird. This is not strange. This is not right. I'm still making a lower low, not a problem there. Come back over here, like, okay, still making a high. Is the market structure shifting? And the moment we break out this high, market structure has shifted completely there. So on the lower time frame, go and looking at the range, it shifted on the upside there. So we're just playing it level to level now. So that's the short now, okay? How do we play this with a long? All right, so this is where it gets interesting now. All right, I'm going to show you two charts, right? I'm going to overlap the two, one after another. So the first one we're going to talk about is just June's range, right? June's range, you see we've got this area here. This is the area of consolidation. You can see it quite clearly. Let me actually bring up the chart a bit more clearer. All right, let me delete this off for a second. Just keep it nice and simple. Nothing too complicated. You got this high over here to this low there, right there. And that's where the area consolidation is, right? So you can see consolidation, come back down, finds resistance within the box, comes back down, finds resistance in the off the box, comes back down, and then we play below June's low, then we come back up. So then naturally this is going to be an area of resistance, okay? So if you're in a swing trade, right? Well, if you're in a swing trade, you're still holding your trade as it is as well, because you know your stop loss is here. You wouldn't want to actually bring new invalidation just yet until we reclaim a level. But what we're doing is looking for, if I'm looking for a trade for a long, what I'm looking for is a reclaim of 25% of range. Then we can play it back up to here. From here, once we break out and let it do its thing. Okay, let's do this, right? Let it do its thing, right? It can come down here, for example, do its thing, reclaim there. The moment it reclaims this box here, this is your trigger to play up to higher prices up to here at the very minimum. Why? Because this has got all this thin move over there to fill out, and we've got another thin move over there, and we might be able to squeeze it into, let's have a look, into this low here. I'd say probably, yeah, around here. So let's go safe, front run it to this area here, which is about just over 22 grand, right? Which is about, yeah, 22, not even 22.1, but 22 grand itself, and then squeeze into here, and then from there we'll see what happens. This is the mid range, so we're gonna have some reaction. The mid range can actually have choppiness over here for a little bit longer. We don't fucking know, right? Or it could come back down, break down, lose the low here, and then we're looking back to target over here, right? If we do something like this, for example, come back down and then reclaims this level here, then you know your confirmation to play higher prices, going up higher to the next set of targets, 75% range and range high, blah 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 blah. You know how the deal is. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Just waiting for a breaking market structure, and you're waiting for the plans to set up. Just have, as soon as you mark your ranges, the rest is easy work. 90% of it really comes down to just the prep work. The other 10% is just being patient and entering in when you think when you believe it's right. Just like the trade that we talked about, the ETH and BTC in the beginning of the show. If you just joined in, you can go back to the very beginning. We talked about the plans I drew for the country club and the trigger behind it, the explanation behind it, how to actually play this out. So that's all we're doing. That's all we're looking for. So that's the long scenario, and we go from there. I mean, price could come into this area here, bounce off to here. I think that's very plausible. Which comes into what? Finds resistance, breaks down, comes into this area, finds support. Remember, this is an SR. This is an SR right here. Hold support. The moment it breaks at this high there, then we go. That's your trigger to play back up to this area here, and then we'll see how we react. Reclaim, and off we go. That's your confirmation. Off you go. Bob's your uncle. Next target there. That's all it is. That's all it is. Nothing else. Nothing. Don't overcomplicate the system. You know, it's a system. Just don't overcomplicate it. Keep it nice and simple and nice and easy. And that's all we do. Okay, we play it from there. Now, another view. Oops. You know what? Let me bring up my fucking levels here. 1 second. There we go. Because I'm gonna need that for later. All right. So another view. So what's important right now? We've come out to monthly open, right? So what we're looking at, this is a weekly range, right? We discussed this weekly range many times, and it's the same situation here. Okay. So delete this shit. Keeping it nice and simple. You see how we got here? I can remove this. Oh yeah. If you recall, I talked about this last week, sometime last week. I can't remember when, right? If you recall here, I said this was a range band environment, okay? This was a range band environment here, the high and the low. This is the mid range, find support with a stop run. This was a long time ago, back in 2020. And all I did was literally draw a range again and drew it across, okay? That's all I did. Let me bring this up there. And look where price came down to. Came down to 25% of the range, right? This is a deviation. Find support 25% range. Stop run, which we discussed early on. And off we go. We step back into the weekly range. This is the weekly range. It's right here. Previous all-time high, 19.8k. Right there. We're above it. What we need to also be aware of. We are also above the monthly motherfucking open. Remember, when we're below the monthly open, we're bearish. When we're above the monthly open, we're bullish. So as long we can do whatever he wants to do, come back into here, reclaim the monthly open, hold support, off you can go up to mid-range. And this mid-range is different. It's 20.7k. This mid-range is 20.7k, and you're playing it level to level, front-running it before you went to play in June's range. So it's up to you how you want to play it. I'm giving you the set of ideas. That's all it is. It's all a set of ideas. You just choose how you want to play this. You play this level to level, and then you go from there. Nothing too complicated. And do me a favor, guys. Smash up the motherfucking likes, if you don't mind. I really appreciate that. So what's up? Let's see what's going on. Pirate's just cracking up. Fucking pirate. Warning shots. Alright, so I really appreciate the kind words. I appreciate that, Bruce, man. Dude, if you're sick, you're sick, and I will always give props to people who actually work hard and put in the effort into it as well. And Cruz is really shining out. So which weekly range is orange? Is this range here? We go on the weekly. The guys in the DCC knows why. This is why we talked about this. Go back to your lesson. We've done this as well. This high and this low. This is capping the market there, and that's capping the market down there. So we was looking at price coming back down, a retest. Does it retest and breaks down, or is it a deviation? If it comes back up, it's a deviation. It looks like a deviation right there. And we step back into the range, and we can place the next set of targets there, which is the mid range. From the mid range, we see we can squeeze up to range high. But we play it level to level and see how it goes. Okay, does that make sense? Price has literally just been stuck in there. Let me delete this shit. We don't need this no more. Right, we're not gonna need it until another time, until we need to, right? Surprisingly, it's been literally this weekly range has been quite perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 weeks. Step back into it within 6 week, 7 week, 8 week, 9, 10, 11. Played it underneath. So we played it for like a good 3 months, man. 3 months within the range, and it's just again the same situation. We're gonna play it back from the low to the mid to high, and we play it level to level. Okay, so how would this look like on an hourly chart? Let's have a look. Do you mind? Yeah, Powell speaks today, 12:30 UK time. That's right, Joe. Great. Is it 1:30? I swear down it's 12:30. Let's have a look. Powell is yeah. No, it is 12:30, guys. Yeah, 12:30 UK time. That's when he's speaking. I think he's gonna try and save the UK, save the economy temporarily. Short term is only a small speech. Why? Because we've got the midterm coming up. Midterm elections happening in November, and I think they're gonna try and save the conversation. Nah, man, don't worry about it. You don't need to say sorry. Mistakes happen, isn't it? We're human beings. But like, I think he's gonna try and say something to actually, in a way, help save the dollar, right? In a way, temporarily, right? So the stocks can actually go well, and it looks good for the Democrats in terms of well, let's be honest, it doesn't look fucking good anyway. But I think short term they're just trying to save it, in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. But we'll find out what's going on. We'll talk about dollar index in just a moment there. So how do we play this as a range band environment from another range, from another point of view? Okay, so let it do its thing. We know this is the monthly open, right? So it can come back down, right? Retest this high here, this previous high, 19.8k, which is previous all-time high back in 2017. It can come back into here, right? Like we said, price can come into this area. So whatever the fuck he wants to do, right? It can come back down here. Let it do its thing, right? We talked about the plans on the lower time frame. I'm just showing you a brief aspect of a different range here. Let it do its thing. Come back into this area. The moment it steps into here, you know that is your trigger, right? Because why? This is just a deviation of the range low. We've done all this deviation here. All this here, this area here, was a deviation. We step back into it. So as long as we step back into it, it's fine. Look where we found resistance. Exactly at the 25% of the range. Same thing, the weekly range. Now, if he steps back into here, you play it back to target 1, target 2, or monthly open, see how it reacts. Once we reclaim, if you want confirmation, reclaim the monthly open, hold above the 25% of the range. Bob's your uncle. Let's go to the next set of targets at the 25% of the range at 20.7k something, 20.750, let's call it. And then from there, let me just fucking move this to the side. Let me delete that. Right? Because I want to bring up to this. Because we said 21.7k is the mid range, right? Remember this. 21.7, yeah, let's call it 21.7. Where is 21.7k on the mid range of this, right? 21.7k comes to about, let's have a look. I'll draw a line about here, just approximately here. That's where the mid range is, which is where we're quite close to the weekly range high. You see how you're playing a range band to range band? We're just bouncing the motherfucker up like a ping pong. That's all we're doing. It's trading view. I literally have trading view. So for those who don't know what this is, right? Do you know what it is, guys? I'm gonna do like an education content for like beginners. So like, for example, we'll do trading view, setting up a trading view, setting up the charts like this, what a candle represents, basic ranges, basic SRs, that kind of thing as well. It helps you guys actually, to get a concept of how to read something at least as well. But then we go from there. What's up? Steam saying, I've been missing, Trade Daink, I've been missing. Where I live got hit with a hurricane with no electric power. No internet for 8 days. Just got them last night. Did the country club, bro. I hope you're okay, my bro. Bless you, my brother. How's your family? Yo, show some love to Steam, man. Yeah, Steam got hit with a hurricane. Fucking hell. I hope your family's well. Your health is all good. Yeah, show some love to Steam, man. Please. We got you back. We got you, man. Like, how's the property at? Like, how's your property? How's like your belongings, your family? They're all doing well? We're good. Okay. Yeah, so Nick just posted the link for the Daink Country Club. It has started. So if you click on the link, and you literally go to, I can actually show you here, actually, for everyone else who wants to see, who's interested. Go to Twitter. Let me do this. Right, so you can put in Daink, and you see one Daink C Club, Daink Country Club. Go on that when he wants to go on there. Right, followers are growing. That's cool. And literally, you can go, and the first pinned tweet there, right? You can see you can actually pay via card on traderdank.com, or if you want to pay via crypto, you can click on this link, follow the information there, and then that will help you out there. If you have any questions, you can send me a DM. I'm more than happy to help you out, guys. But yeah, man. Speed recovery, 100%, man. Just look after yourself, man. There's no rush. There's no rush at all. The market's always going to be here. I'm always going to be here for however long God decides to actually keep me alive. But you got guys like Nick here, you got Cruz here. They're all banging out Ed's there. We got TCX as well. We got Justin. We got some of these blessed human beings out there in the group as well, and they're fucking killing it, man. They're doing well and they're putting the effort into it. So fair play to these guys. But yeah, let's get back to this, man. But yeah, Steam, if you do want to chat as well, and you just want to be heard or whatever, by all means, my DM's open for you, man. Thank God for home insurance, bro. Damn, hurricane. That's the one thing about, like, I'm guessing you live right, like Florida, in the Florida state. 100% Gandalf. Gandalf is a legend. So yeah, we was talking about the 25% range, right? And we also talked about, this is June's mid range, yeah. We've got June's mid range over here, and this is where it comes down to. So which makes sense. If we're gonna play back to low, right? Reclaim this level here. What this is your, you can enter here quite aggressively and play all the way back to the mid range. From the mid range, squeeze into the 75% range. 75% range goes up to range high, and it just so happens that this is going to be the mid range, and I expect some sort of reaction, because why? We're at the range high, motherfuckers. We're at the range high, which is always going to have a reaction over there, the mid range high. We might squeeze into this area. We might do so. I don't fucking know. We don't know, right? But I do expect a reaction to happen over here, especially at the 21.7k, 21.8k area, and then either we come back down, break down, we don't fucking know, we play it level to level. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes, but we'll play it there. I do expect us to go up higher though. I do honestly expect us to at least mid-range, squeeze into range high, weekly range high. Why? Well, look at this, right? Let's go on the 4 hours. Every time we get to the mid-range, right? Like the range low, it gets choppy, don't get me wrong. It gets like really choppy. Right here, look, again, reaction over here. Come back up to the mid 25% range. What happened to the 25% range? Motherfucker, what happened there? With a deviation of the range low, what happened there? We get back up, come to 25% range, and it does tag to the mid range. Then we come back down to range low. We find find a little deviation, find support off this, right? Then he steps back in and he goes straight to mid range, back up to range high. All right. Look at this one here. Let's use a later on time frame here. Look here. Same thing here. Come back down. There's a deviation. There's a stop run. Climbs up, right? Finds resistance at the 25% range. Come back down. Finds support at the range low. Then shoots up to mid range. Gets a bit choppy. Comes back down. Reclaims 75%. Retest of mid range. Shoots back up to range high. You couldn't make this up. You couldn't just make this up. This is fucking perfect there. Let's go back again to recent times. Look what happened here. We come back down, we lose the range low, come back down to this area here, there's a deviation. The moment we have the deviation, obviously it doesn't react to the 25%, it just shoots up. But what you'd like to do is hold above here and then reclaim mid-range. But the moment it holds range low, you hard stop over here, back to 25% to mid-range, 75%, then range high. This is just a deviation. You don't give a shit about what happens there. None of us should give a shit about what happens there, right? We're just playing it level to motherfucking level. That's all we're doing. And then the same thing. Right here, we've got a deviation. We step back in. We're finding resistance at the 25% range. Two out of 3 times we found resistance at 25% range, and each time we came back to retest the range low. So we have time for longs. Right? I'll time this up with the group as well anyway. So resistance here. Yes, we do have some sort of fucking choppiness, go to range high, but then we come back to range low. And then we have a deviation, reclaim, find support off the 25% range. Come back down. Resistance at the 25% range once we step back in. Come back down to range low. Find support at the range low. Then shoots up higher. So why can't it do it the same? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we do the same? Why can't we come back down, right? let's just say the monthly closes above here. Happy days, right? It's a good move for the monthly. You know, it's all looking good. We're on a positive. It might be like a little 5% move or whatever. I don't fucking know, but whatever it is. But it comes back down in October, for example. Remember, the monthly closes in 2 days. Is it 2 days? 27 or 3 days, my bad. Can't even fucking count. Come back down over here, hold support, and let's shoot up. We could do that. I don't see why not. And then we'll find out what happens next. Do we break up and carry on going higher, or do we break down and go lower? We don't know. We don't know. No one's never gonna know, right? But we're gonna play this level to level. So just be assertive to what the market's reacting and how it's playing out. So that's the weekly range that I want you guys to keep an eye on. All right. Right. So let's have a look. Give me a second, guys. Awesome. Okay, cool. For those who just joined, you'll get an email. It might be in your junk email. Just keep an eye on that. I will have to make sure. Let me just make sure to actually I'll take care of these guys first. 1 second, guys. Give me a second, lads. Bear with me a moment. Fuck. Where is it? Also, I'll make sure that you guys get the email anyway. But yeah, if you guys have joined, join the country club as well. What will happen is via the Trader Daink website, you'll get like an email. It might be in your junk mail. Just give you about half an hour or so, and then or whatnot. If not, if you don't get it in the next half an hour, just send me a DM and I'll sort the rest out for you. And it will send you a link to the country club on the Discord server. Then what I'll do, I'll put you as a member, whatever. Then you see the whole thing and all the lessons are there. We're gonna have a lessons today in terms of risk management, right? This is quite an important one for most people, but for everyone who should be. We'll talk about risk management there, and then we're going to talk about Monday's range, the importance of Monday's range, and a bit more in depth on that. That's what we're looking to do today as a lesson itself. Homework will have to be given out really soon, because the guys did homework last week on ranges. I do want to see some more homework from you guys as well in terms of ranges. For those who are watching this as well, who's in the group, you've done one set of ranges. I want to see the other set of ranges there. We'll talk about that as well today. But remember, I'm not going hard. I'm not going easy on you guys when it comes to building your strategy as well. Okay. I still got that risk management simulation. Oh yes, Goonie. You know what? Send me a DM on Discord, right? And we'll talk about that straight after this. We'll talk about this straight after, all right? All right then, cool. So, yeah, Cidium said didn't retest it last week. Yeah, last time. Yeah, of course it didn't retest it. It was just too fucking bullish, right? I'd come up here. So this 4-hour candle just shut up one time. How would you play it? Well, you see this breaking market structure. The moment we took out this high over there, it was just looking bullish there. The reclaim on lower time frame, you look at the mid range and you look for the mid range to go to range high. So sometimes you do get like I said, out of 3, 2 of them retested the range low. Number 1, this was the first one. This is the second one, and then this one here was just this was just too fucking bullish. Which is when you see moves like that strength of a move, don't worry about phasing it. Get ready to short it when we get back down to the range, and then obviously we fucking shanked down quite heavily there. So it was a very, very fast move there. But we'll make up plans and then we'll be watching it anyway. But yeah, so that's the trade for thingy for Bitcoin. Any questions before we move on? I'm gonna light up another cigarette actually. Yes, Steam. Good to have you there, man. I really appreciate you. I mean, the guys will tell you if they. I mean, look, the guys that's in the country club, right? You tell the lads over here in the DMs. Is it worth coming on, or is it worth joining, or is it not worth it? I'm not here. I mean, I can sit here and say, yo, this is the sickest group you'll ever go to, or I help, like Daink, me as Daink, I know what to do and help you out, blah blah. I can tell you this shit, right? But I'll let the guys who actually are members to talk about it, not me. Do you hate money? Fucking hell, Nick. Nick saying, do you hate money? Fucking hell, Nick. Oh my god, he's gonna kill me. And by the way, Pirate's there as well. I mean, that's a selling cause. I need to make her as the face of the group. Pirate's chatting to everybody every day. Like, she has like conversation, and then I'm guessing some of the guys in the group are having like private DMs with her. I don't know, because they have these little conversations. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here, and I'm like, okay, let them do their thing, innit? You know, like, oh, if you gotta shoot your shot, man. Pirate's actually an attractive lady, innit? If you despise money, don't join. Fucking hell, Goonie. I appreciate that, Goon. I appreciate that. I would join, but I'm feeding into your cigarette addiction. Oh, dude, man. I know. I gotta stop. The problem is, right, like, I went gym last night, and I felt like, the cigarette's getting to me. Thank you, TCX. Appreciate that, man. Justin, appreciate that, my bro. Just wanted to say that Pirate followed me on Twitter before I followed it. Oh, shit, Goonie. Check you out. Yeah, Pirate is a fucking rarely in our group. Like, when she's pumping the coins, right, she tells us as well. When she's actually looking for longs as well, she's telling us that she's dumping the coins. Like, she's that 6 years. Pirate is such a lovely, lovely person. Appreciate that, Steve, man. It's always a pleasure having Pirate there as well. I was chatting to Pirate as well, like, last night, and she distracted me last night. I was supposed to do a little session on risk management. Completely got distracted, and I got sidetracked on something completely different. But like I said, guys, we are going to do the stream today. I'll talk to you guys as soon after this session as well. Is there any question about BTC though? BTC's pushing up, man. She's a unique, genuine gem of a soul. Yeah, 100%. She's a lovely, lovely person, man. And you know what's wicked about her? You know, this is the best part about Pirate. I love her. She knows she's hot. Clearly, she's fucking gorgeous, right? We can all agree with that, right? Come on, we have to admit, right? But at the same time, she's not a bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you get these girls who are like an 8 or a 9 or a 10, and you're just an average dude. We're all our average dude. Let's be honest, right? We're not nothing special, right? We bring a lot on the table in terms of work ethics and whatnot. But then, like, she's so cool. She's so cool. She doesn't treat you differently. She doesn't chat to people differently as well, like, because you may be attractive or you might have money. Nah, she's not like that, bro. She's got money. She's got more money than us put together. That's how fucking mad she is. That's what I love about Pirate. She's so cool. So if you listen to this, Pirate, big love to you, man. A big love to you. Right, long-term chart on BTC, still bearish. Yeah, still bearish, right? One more thing I want to talk about as well, which we need to discuss this quite carefully as well. And I want everyone to pay attention to this one little moment here, okay? If you don't take out anything from me, right, today, it's not a problem. But the one thing I do want you to take away is this. Look at this, right? This is previous all-time high. It's like, this is the all-time high up here, right? We can all agree there. And we can all agree from, oops, mother. I can't even, give me a second, let me finish this off. Right, so we know price was ranging in a range band environment here, right? Where's the range? We got this low over here. Let me get this is the low here, and this is the high for me, okay? This is the range band environment. So price was working in a range band environment. We lost this low there. I mean, we could still come into here. I don't see why not. I don't see why not, but this is what we need to be very, very careful there. We can actually get suckered into the idea of, yeah, this low will get retested, happy days. And then we were looking, because all this is consolidation over here. We can agree with that. As consolidation, price is consolidating. Once we break out of this consolidation, right, from this high to this low there approximately, once we break out, either we break out on the upside, we can come back up to here, or if we break down the downside, then fucking hell, it's not really looking really good, to be honest, right? So, yeah, Pirate, here you go, Pirate. We're just talking about you, man. We've got a lot of love for you guys. You know what? I don't wear watches. It's the first time I'm wearing my watch in such a long time. Because I'm gonna pop out in a bit. So my arm feels quite heavy. I don't like wearing watches or shit like that. So yeah, I need to start wearing it. My mom had a go at me. She came into my yard yesterday, and we're just chatting, and like I went to go pray. No, she went to go pray in my room. I was praying downstairs. She was praying in my room, and she saw my watch there. She's like, "Don't you wear this at all?" Yeah, Rolex. Yeah, I don't know if I should. What do you guys think? Should I put my like a Trader Daink logo in there? Do you think I should do that? Can I get this zoomed in? Can we fucking have a Look at it. Come on. Come on. It doesn't show me properly. It doesn't show me properly. Let me try it. Fucking hell. Let me do this. Take this out. Can we somehow focus? No, it's not going to focus. No, it's not going to focus. If I do this, move out the way. No, it doesn't. Fuck it. But on your offhand, I'm both-handed. I'm right and left-handed. I'm one of these weird guys. But I'm half thinking of actually putting my Trader Daink logo on there, like going to like a shop, like a Rolex shop or something, and remove the dial, the silver dial there, and then like just put like the logo in there. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But it's the one gift I got myself like during the bull run, or towards the end of the bull run, not too long ago. I didn't get much for myself. Looking swollen. Thank you, bro. Nah. It's just the t-shirt's tight on me. That's why. I'm starting to work out now. Yeah, I know, Goonie. A lot of people are saying the same thing. A few of my friends said, "Don't do that. You could, ruin the value and whatever." But this is my first Rolex ever bought in it. Maybe all DC members will have one, but yeah, 100%, Justin. By all means, man. Fucking Rolex, Patek Philippe, the lot, man. Would they actually look down on me? Fuck these guys. Because you know what it is? For me, it's like this Rolex, I'm never going to sell it. And I know the value is going to stay there and whatever and whatnot. And like, obviously gold goes up, X, Y, and Z and that kind of shit. Yeah, they would judge me for it. Fucking Rolex. Because it's one of these watches I will never sell. And I want to put a touch onto it, right? Because I know when I look at this watch, I'm like, yeah, this is my first proper watch I bought. And like when I touch base onto it as well, I just want to have like, I don't know. You say not to. Because that's what people do, even though it's yours. I see what you mean. You got a good point, though. You got a good point. Yeah, fair play, Goonie. Goonie's a fucking smart man. Yeah, you quite a slim, you're a petite girl. That's what you are, a pirate. You know, like you need to wear like an elastic band. That's fucked up. Sorry. You need to wear an elastic band. Sorry there. Shit. I'm gonna hear from this later. But membership nah, we don't need let's not do that. Membership is a Rolex, bro. We're all gonna get Rolexes, inshallah. So yeah, this is what I was looking at, right? See this? Let me actually make this one. So we know this is the range band environment we're playing in, right? Nothing to talk about. As you can see from here, from this high, it's just been continually bear market-ish, right? It's been really, really bearish itself the whole time, okay? But what I do want to have a look at and just be patient on, if I just bring this out there, right, from this high to this, we've got a trend line. Can you see this? We've got a we've got a trend line going there, right? So we've got a trend line here. You can see this. The high was there, found resistance from the trend line, come back there, find another resistance of the trend line. And the question is, if we come up to here, let's just say, if price really does come to the mid-range, which is, where the fuck is the mid-range? We did draw this out. Let me have a look. I deleted it, didn't I? Yeah, let's say the mid-range is up to here. Around here, okay? Price can come up to here, step back in, and the question is this a deviation? Right? Like, sorry, is this a deviation in the range? Do we step back in and go a lot more lower? Or do we hold above it and go up higher? For me, I wouldn't want to fight against this. So I want to be this level to level and play this very, very carefully. And you're watching each level as it is, right? Because look, right now, we're at support here. Well, it's actually resistance in this area, right? We can find this is a key SR. Deviation. You know, we're finding a bit of support over here, then we bounce back up. Deviation from resistance, come back in, steps back up, resistance over here, and we're coming out of resistance. So it's a very key pivotal moment here. So I do expect a bit of a pullback anyway, but we'll see how it goes level to level. But I wouldn't want to fight this. Honestly, I wouldn't want to fight this, right? I wouldn't want to start looking for shorts. But on a lower time frame, if we find longs, we find longs. If on a lower time frame we find shorts, we find shorts. Not a problem there. I wouldn't mind, right? If price comes up to here and finds resistance, this is an opportunity to short back down to this level here. At least see how we react after here, off the trend line, right? We'll see how it works out. Level to level, we'll work this out every single day. It's not a problem. Then, if by any chance we get back up and hold support over here, then you know this is your confirmation really. Then you can go up playing it to the higher prices, which is about, I think it's about here, about there. Then we can play to that. Then we'll see what happens level to level. Nothing else. Don't get too excited, right? Fractals of April, 100%. So don't get too excited. This is a downtrend still as it is, because we could do this, not a problem. If it does do that, happy days. If it doesn't do that, we need to watch this out, because if we come back up, right? If we do something like this, come back up, oops, come back up. There's a stop run, finds resistance, breaks down. Once it gets back into it, finds resistance off this, off we go. Then that was a deviation on the trend line. Short this back down to wherever it needs to go. So be very careful. Don't get too gassed about this. Let's not get too happy that we're in a bull mode. It's not a full-on bull season just yet. We have no proof of evidence of a bull season, all right? We have just what this trend line is. This trend line is very, very key. Until we break out of it and hold it, it's still bearish. So please don't look at the price action of today and say, yeah, we had a massive push up and happy days, let's go up higher. Look at this. Look at the push up over here compared to this. Look at the push up over here compared to like over here. They're quite small compared to these big ones. You see these big down candles? Look at this down candle over here. Massive down candles there. Massive down candles there. Huge down candles. They're bigger than these little ones over here. Big ass motherfucking down candles there. All these big ass down candles. They're massive. They don't fucking stop, innit? They're bigger than what we were actually highlighting in pink. So if I highlight some more in pink, yeah, we got some push up over here. It's all good. Happy days. We got a nice move there. But relatively to what we've got when we was in a bull season over here, they're not as big as these, you know? Look at this. We haven't seen a candle like this in a long time. I mean, the last time we found something like that was back in March, right? So be very, very careful. Don't get too gassed about it. Just play this level to level. That's all it is. Let me have a look at something. I just want to check something out. Because this is the macro bearish play, right? I mean, we had this trend line over here, right? And you can see how price was over here. See this? Resistance, resistance, bit of resistance, deviation, come back down, resistance. And what happened is we get back above this high, find support, off we go to the macro motherfucking bearish line over here, to this one over here, from this trend line. And then we're finding resistance, grind back down. And what happened is we find resistance all the way, let's just draw this out here, all the way back there. So once we come back down, have resistance, finds a bit of a deviation, come back down and shoots down. This here, really, if I want to actually be a bit pedantic about these levels here, let me just draw this out. You can see from this high here, you can see, is that right? Yeah. This is a no man's dead zone. Here, it's all a dead man zone here. Because every time we break out of this trend line, we get a bit excited. We got out of this trend line, we got a bit excited here. We didn't come up into this resistance here, but we did come over here. Resistance. Here, again, we're finding resistance. Now, do we come back down into this no man dead zone? I mean, this is 12K actually. This is 12K. Fuck you know. So we'll see what happens though. So don't get too excited. Be very careful what you do. Remember, we are still in a bear market until proven otherwise. If you start focusing on this is a bull market, you're going to shank your ass off really badly. Until proven otherwise, it is still a bear market. Where would I feel comfortable say, you know what, let's fucking carry on going higher, is if we break up this high here. If we come into here and find support here, I mean, we do something like this. So on this high here, let's just draw this out. I'm just drawing out plans in it. That's all it is. I'm just drawing out plans. We do something like this. Come into this area here. Finds reclaims there. Support off there. Long your longs over here. That'd be the target over here. And then we play a bit over here. Once we reclaim this level here, take out these highs over there. See this high over here? Right. Let's draw that out properly again. We'll do something like this. This is going to fly out through a lot of people's head off, but you got reference here. We do something like that. Take out these highs there. Maybe a retest off this high. And then reclaim this area. Off we go, next level to level to level. That's all we're doing. Don't get too gas. You know, don't get too gas. Remember, we're in the bearish market. How it is, how it is, all right? If I just want to have a look at something actually. From this high. Where's the 2020 high is here? This is 2020's high, right? No, that's the lie. 2020 high. No, that's not right. Yeah. So this is the high of this year to the low. It just so happens. You know what? Let me get a clean fresh chart. BTC USDT. Let's go to the Bybit chart. All right. Let me just delete all this. Right, cool. So doing a range band environment of this year alone, right? That's the high of this year, and that's the low of this year, okay? And it just so happened I find resistance at the 25% range. If this really is the low of the year, if this is the low of the year, then we should go up to 25k area, reaction, reclaim this area there. That's your net second set of targets there, right? Up to here, around 28.8k, 29k kind of area, and then we can see we can go to the 32k area here, and then this is a range band environment from the high to low, low to high, because we're holding this low here. We're holding this low. This is actually quite good though, if you ask me. Just looking at this, plain and simply, off a daily, right? You see this candle over here? Look at that. Clean, very, very clean. We find support over here. So we find support here, find support here. We do a deviation, we do another set of deviation. If this is supposed to be bullish, we should break after this. Let me just remove that. I know I'm focusing on BTC a lot, but fuck it. That's the next level, the next key area, because price is being capped out between this high, right, and this low over here. Price is capped over here with a deviation, with a deviation, with a deviation. Break up, hold above it. Let's go to the next set of targets over here, and then we can squeeze into this area and then go to mid range. It's at 25% of the range, and then from the 25% of the range, we'll see what happens, because we take out these highs there. We take out these highs there. What that means? Let's just say for argument's sake, we take out these highs here. This is the low. This is the low. Well, high, lower, low, lower, higher, whatever, right? We do bearish market structure. This is the low, and this is the lower high. This is the lower high. We shouldn't take this lower high out. If we take out this lower high, then what that means is this is a lower low. That's a higher high. That'll be the higher low, and then we make the higher high. We don't know. We don't know. I'm just second guessing this. I'm just having an idea of all these plans out there. Does that make sense, guys? That's all we're doing, right? But we'll see what happens as it comes out there. So let's see what's going on there. Thank you. Just wanted to clarify that we're still in the yes, we are in a downtrend. We're still in the downtrend. Nothing to worry about. Okay. So until proven otherwise, when we say we're not in a downtrend, we're not in a downtrend. I do need to take a piss. Give me a moment. Sorry, guys. And then we talk about Ethereum. Fuck, too much water. I need to have a toilet over here or a bucket, man. Alright then, I'm back. Sorry about that. So then, now let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, what's happening with Ethereum? What's going on there? Rip like motherfucker. Thank you, Golfall. Appreciate that. Who trades Forex here? We'll talk about Forex if you want. It's not a problem. Alright, so let's just have a look at some higher time frame stuff. I want to get another chart for Ethereum actually. ETH USDT. Let's see. This is the Binance chart, right? Yeah, so other than the Binance, let me do ETH USD Binance chart. There we go. I think we'll do that. Right, so let's do a quick analysis on this, right? Where are we stuck at? All right, so we can see June's range is actually what's capping the market on the upside and the downside, right? So I'll probably stick with July for now. All right. Let's see how June's range is doing. June's range, we're below the mid-range. If we go to use this range over here, let's have a look. What's going on there? Yeah, and let's see over here. Again, we're below the mid-range. Find a support there. If I want to tighten it out there, let's have a look. One day. Alright, you know what? Fuck it. This is 1 week. 1 month. Right, so that's that there. Yeah, I'll stick with this. I'll stick with this. We'll talk about it in just a second there. So the low comes in at what? 883.60. Alright, cool. Put this as purple, so I know that's monthly. Alright, and let's go on the weekly. How's that working out? Yep, we can see that. We take out liquidity of the June's high. The liquidity over there, come back down, find support of the mid-range. 14.26 is an area we're going to find some sort of reaction over here. Question is, do we hold above it, go back up and play back up to higher? We don't know. Or do we find a retest, or we do something like this, break down, lose this low here, then go back to this area here, and then squeeze back into here. So we will see how it goes. So that's the range for June. So using June's range on this one. Let's look at the daily. How the daily is looking like. Daily is looking pretty alright actually. This is Monday's range, last week's Monday's range. I'm going to draw that out there and approximately there, put that as blue so I know what's going on. Right, so we're at Monday's range, Monday's high. We're capped at Monday's high, it's not a problem there. You see this range bound environment here. This is a weekly range over here. From here, that's a weekly range. We're finding support off there. Sorry, from here to there. So what we're looking for, if it was to be bearish, come back into this range here, lose this low there, and off we go back into 25% range, and then squeeze into the mid range of this weekly range, and then playing back down to range low. But found support, happy days, which is all good. I'm quite happy with that. Now, how do we play this now? Let's look at it. We got this now. So if we go to, so we got today's high, so today's range itself. Let me just mark out today's range, because we are playing within a bigger range itself, and plus a smaller range, which is these area. Made that as black. So the one in black is today's Monday's range. The one in blue was last week's Monday's range, right? As you can see, we are capped in Monday's range. The reason why I want to highlight this is so we can see what happens, right? So let's have a look. Let's start marking out plans now. You guys following it so far? If it's too quick, let me know, and I can slow it down, right? Yeah, thank you, Justin. Appreciate that, man. Really appreciate that. So how do we play this now? All right. So what's capping the market here? All right. So we know that the high of Monday's high is capping the market on the upside. Not a problem. Is there anything else capping the market? Well, no, not really. Why? Because we just got a resistance off there. That's what it is. So now, if I start to look out for plans, right? If I look at how we are reacting, right? All we got to do is highlight a box. See what's causing the problem. See this high over here and this low, this candle there. This is the reaction right here. This is the area of focus. Now, if I want to short, right, I wouldn't short just yet, because we found support off this block here. This block here has caused us problems here. Why? Resistance, come up for a stop run, come back down, finds resistance over here, sells off, come back into this area, find resistance, but we climb into it. The fact that we're climbing into it, right, shows me there's bullishness in there. There's bullishness, and it's looking to try and catapult to where? To this target over here, right, which is a 14.2 whatever, 1.4k. What the fuck is it? 1425. Let's call it 1426, 1425 area. So now, how do we play this now? All right, let's just talk about the bearish play. Now, the bearish play, why we're looking for bearish play is that you see this thin move over here. Ideally, we like to get this area filled, right? So we got an SR over here. So let's have a look. We've got this SR right there. You see that high? We've got a deviation of that SR. We've got resistance over here. We've got resistance here. We found resistance. And then we got a thin move over here. So ideally, for me to look for a short, I want to see us break down below this box here, find resistance. Once we found resistance, this is my trigger. My stop loss will be above the box itself, maybe above the high of it itself, playing back down to 25% of the range, and then to this high over here, squeezing into Monday's high. Yesterday's high. And it just so happened that Monday's high is approximately last week's mid-range. Last week's Monday's mid-range. You can't make this shit up. It's like fucking Wizcraft and magician and shit like that. Like Harry Potter did this. I don't fucking know. Like Voldemort did something like that. Now we're gonna try and fuck these guys over now, right? And all you gotta see is like, you're looking at this one. This is the consolidation. This is the breakout. This is the retest. The question is this a retest for an expansion move, or is it a retest to break back down and play back in, and that's just a deviation? We don't fucking know. We play this level to level, right? Similar to what the BTC plan is, we're just doing the same thing. So if he comes into here, no problem. Let it do its thing. Dips into this area here. The moment it reclaims and holds this level, the Monday's high, gets back above this high here. That's your SR. Then that's a deviation of the SR, and this would have been your trigger to play where? Back to 25% range into the blue box and squeezing into Monday's high. That's it. As simple as that. As simple as that, right? That's a short-term play. Now, if we don't get this kind of price action do happen, and we're like, all right then, Daink, what the fuck's happening now? We're coming back in. Let me delete all this shit. Let's focus on Monday. Yesterday's range. We're coming into here. We're focusing on Monday's range. We're like, all right, how do we play this, right? Come back down, right? And we're looking for price to come into this area, but come back up and reclaim. And it doesn't do this reclaim and doesn't come up above the SR. Remember the SR we talked about? It doesn't do this, hold this SR first long. Instead, it comes into here, bounces into the mid range high, but finds resistance. If you find resistance, what does that mean? Support. It's not support no more. You're fucking short in the market now. So then you can start entering like a short, right? And your stop loss. I mean, sorry. Once we lose this low over here, that's your confirmation. Play it back to 25% range. Squeeze it back to mid range. From the mid range, see how we react. If we hold above it, cut the trade, right? Because then we're gonna go back up to range high. If we start losing the mid range and start breaking down, short this back down, back to motherfucking 25% of the range, back to range low of Monday's range, and see if we can take out liquidity here. Because we're taking out liquidity on Monday's high, then we can take out liquidity on Monday's low. That's what it is. That's the shorting scenario. At any key level, we find support, right? Find support, for example, cut the trade, cut the short, you know? So we're looking at this area here, how this works out if we break down. So that's the shorting play. How do we play this if it was going to be a longing scenario, right? So longing scenario, we know we got played, we know we're stuck in this area here, right? We're stuck in this fucking range high over here, right? Now we've got stuck at a range high. How do we play this, right? So we've got a range bound environment right over here. Let it do its thing. The moment we step back up, hold its support, we've broken market structure there, take out last week's low, find support, reclaims Monday's high, right? Last week's Monday's high. That's your trigger. Enter, playing it target today to the mid range of June's mid range. And then from there, we'll see what happens. I'll probably front run it, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to front run it to about here. This is where we're looking to front run it. 1420, is it? Yeah, 1418. That'll be my front runner area, my TP1. And then we go for TP2. See in that area, that's the mid-range. And then from there, we'll see what happens. This is the mid-range. Then we got to start worrying about, is this, right? So when we get back up, right, into this area, is this a deviation of the mid-range, or is it a retest? Because if we start breaking down, get back into this range, you know this is your entry, stop loss above here, for example, going back down to the mid-range. From the mid-range, we'll see how we react to range low. If we are continually bullish, right, then what we should do is find support off the mid-range, right, because it's just a deviation, breaks a market structure, give a continuation of bullish market structure, playing for higher prices. Bob's your uncle, there we go. That's all we're doing. We're looking at for simple plays. Don't get too overcomplicated, don't get too excited about everything, just play it as it comes, right? Then once we fucking get back up, right, and let's just say this area here, right, let's say this area here, this is the area of resistance, right? We come up into this area here, right? And we start breaking down, right? Then you know that's your short. This is your trigger. Sorry, this is your trigger for you to enter, put a hard stop over there, playing it back down low. But, if we are super bullish, right, and we are going to go higher prices, and we get back up, climb up into this range, just like we're doing climbing in this range here, similar thing over here, we'll go to this range high here, taking out these stops there, bullish market structure, we're taking out these highs over there. If it was supposed to be bearish, we shouldn't be taking these highs, we should be making you thinking at lower highs. Reclaim, hold above it, oops, reclaim, hold above it. This is your confirmation for higher prices. Where to? Well, we'll be looking to go into this area. At least at a very minimum target around here, 1560. From 1560, we'll see what happens there. That'll be target one. And if we reclaim and carry on going higher, Let's go to the next area, fill out these inefficiency, take out this liquidity there, and see if we can squeeze into $1,700. We don't know, but that's just a rough plan to see how it goes. We've got some time for this to happen. I don't think it's going to happen today, but there's the ideas that we're looking at. We're playing it level to level. That's what we're doing. Nothing else, nothing too complicated. And then if we can actually, let's just say, price decides to actually reclaim this, the mid-range, right, and does something like that. That was a deviation of the mid-range. Play back to 25% of the range, play back to range high. Why not? Why not? And then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we actually come into this area, breaks down, shoots lower, or do we actually reclaim and go higher? We don't fucking know. None of us are magicians. We don't know, but we're having plans to work out how this works out. That's all it is. That's all we're doing. Keep it nice and simple. And the beautiful thing is, right, I mean, what I love to see is this, though. Right? If this was see this high here, this is the previous all-time high. Once we reclaim this level here, right? Reclaim this level here, right, and hold above it, then you can say, yeah, we're playing for higher prices. And that was like a deviation. That's another deviation. And off we go. That's all we're doing. Nothing else. Don't get too excited. Don't go crazy on shorts, man. Because if you go crazy on shorts, right, you can't. It's just like, I posted on Twitter, right? For example, let me show you. Delete this, right? I'm just going to talk about this briefly. Where is Twitter? There we go. Right, so profile. Yeah, I literally put this. I posted this on Twitter yesterday. I said at one point everyone was bullish this year, barring a small handful. Right now, everyone is bearish this year. You still think you're on the right side? It was. I was trying to tell you guys, don't get suckered into it. Don't get suckered into anything as well. Twitter, bear man's gonna get bearish. It's just like Bitcoin over here. Let me bring up Bitcoin back in the days. BTC. How many man was bullish over here at these highs over there? Elon Musk dumped it down here. The Chinese FUD as well. The whole Tesla not accepting Bitcoin and all that stuff like that. And with the India FUD as well. They all happen here. Right here, bear man's over here at this low here, which was the yearly open. The yearly open was around here. The yearly open, everyone was bearish. Every motherfucker was bearish here. You're bearish at fucking support. How do you get bearish at support? Like, the fuck is wrong with you? Did you come out your mum's asshole or some shit? I don't understand. How are you getting bearish at support? If we lose this level here, find resistance, then fine. Fucking yeah, I'll be bearish. But we don't do that. We find support. It's just like that. Just like we talked about fucking June's low. You can't get bearish at June's low. So if I show out June's low here. Yeah, so let me just hide this up. This was June's low. You bearish at June's low. It's the same situation that happened last year. And someone told me, like, I don't know, some nubbin. I don't know who he is, right? Some geezer. I didn't even bother responding back to him as well. Where was he? Did he delete the tweet? Yeah, he deleted the tweet. Yeah, the prick. He deleted the tweet. The prick. Motherfucker. I'll probably find him anyway. Anyway, some geezer, right, started saying like, oh yeah, like, he started talking big in it, like, about how, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't know what he said, but he said some dumb shit anyway. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, you deserve to lose your money. Like, it's bad to say this, but you do deserve it, because if you can't flip your bias, right, you're never going to be able to make money, because what you're doing is you're following the sheep. You're following the herd. Like I said, don't be a sheep, be a fucking wolf, man. Just be a wolf. You be the hunter. Don't get hunted. We're hunting out the stops. We're hunting out, these level to level play. Do the same thing. It's the same shit we're replaying over and over again. That's all you gotta do. You don't overcomplicate the system. Don't make it too hard for yourself. Cut the fucking noise. Know who to follow. Follow the legitimate people, and they're the ones who help you. If you've got like 50 followers, for example, and you got 3,000, and you're following 3,000 people, what are you doing? You've got so much noise around, you don't even know what to look at. Cut the music down and focus. That's all you gotta do. Just focus. The guys in DCC, like, every time, it's mad though. I'll tell you something about the DCC. So, like, obviously there's a time difference between me and them, right? So when I go back onto them in the morning, like, yo, morning and stuff like that, and straight away, like even today, straight away I was like, let's have a look. Let me bring this up, right? So they were just chatting away amongst themselves, right? Just general chit chat here and there. And as soon as I go like, tell them about talk about BTC, everyone says quiet. It's funny to me. I don't know if they clocked on, but everyone says quiet. Where was it? Let me go back. It's in the morning. That's 10 o'clock. Let me just go quickly Go back. No, fucking the lounge. Where's the lounge? Let's go back. 1 second, guys. To me, it's a little bit of a comedy for me as well. Yeah, they're talking about this. So this is it. So before, where was I? Where did I step in? I stepped in a bit early before, yeah. Oh yeah, no. They were talking about charts actually. Today they were talking about charts. They were talking about charts and time frames stuff like that. But there are times like it's mad funny. It's like when they're having general chit chat in it, and even Parrot called me out on this. He's like, bro, like, why are you so serious for? Like, why are you so serious for? Just chill out in it. But it's like, for me, it's like focusing. Like be. The greatest thing you could do for yourself, right, is focusing on what's legitimate, like paying attention to what's happening. Like don't get suckered into any bullshit like that. Don't like, let the noise get to you, because when the noise gets to you, it's fucking horrible. It's really, really horrible. I mean, look at this. Eve, let's do this right higher over here, and you can see. I mean, could we use this one? Could we use that? Yeah, we potentially could use this. Yeah, we could potentially use this. I don't see why not. And you can see resistance, deviation, comes into a resistance, sells off, pretty much resistance, but here's resistance. Again, I wouldn't be wanting to fight this trend line. Don't fight this trend line, which gives us, right, compared to BTC, we have a bit of room to come up to this area here, at least into this area here, and then squeeze into, well, let's say it takes into there, squeeze into here, and then we find out how we react here. Do we get back up and hold above it, and then break out the trend line, and let's go back level to level play. That's all it is, nothing else. Don't get too complacent. Don't get suckered into longs. Don't get suckered into shorts. Just zoom out. That's all you gotta do. That's the biggest thing I can ever tell you guys there. Any questions though? We got 63 people here. Smash out the motherfucking likes, man. Appreciate that, everybody. Let's see what's. Oh, a lot of people have been talking. Let's see what. PYR looks like a pump. Yep. MCB8. What's going on here? I missed out a lot of conversation here. Fuck, these guys are going mad here. Do you think Powell's speech today will have anything to do with this pump? Yeah, I think so. I think I think the speech today is gonna have a bit of a. I think they're gonna try and save the market, right? In its own way. With dollar index, looking at dollar index, I'm looking for us to get back below here. If we can get back below here, right, below this mid range over here, then we can play it back down to 111.3. See how we react to this trend line over there. Do we come back into the trend line, the mid range, and then back to range low over here? And then we're just focusing within here to here. Then from there, from this low here at 108, we'll see how we react. Do we hold above it and go up higher, or do we actually go back down and play this back down level to level into this area here? So we'll see what happens. But midterms come in. I think they're gonna actually try and kind of dump it in a way. It would make sense, in my opinion. I think it makes sense, but we'll see what happens. Even ES is pushing up, man. ES is playing up quite well. On the daily, let's have a look on the hourly. Range band environment, you can see right here. Let me just bring this up here. Range band environment right there, and go up to the mid range. Do a deviation of the mid range. We're at the mid range as well. So close below here, above here. Take out this high there. Find support there. Off we go. Next level to this area here. So we'll see what happens in it. We'll see what happens. Oh, you have to prove the profit. What's going on, bro? Daink Country Club, good to have you here. You're a wizard, Harry. How to speak about digital currencies in 15 minutes? Ooh, shit. Let's see the price action. Is he speaking about crypto right now, is he? Is he speaking about crypto? Has anyone got a link for this shit? Let's just watch it. Let's watch this actually, see what happens, and then we can actually watch how the chart is. Oh, it's in 30 minutes. Oh, it's in 12:30. Okay, that's when he's going to be talking. I don't know. Do you guys want to do it like a little session? I don't know. Scalp Slayer says, no to get a notification from YouTube. Oh, bro, sorry about that, Bowinder. Don't know what happened there. Scalp Slayer says, hope you're well, missing you daily, been extremely busy and studying charts to the max, doing ICT course at the moment. Can't wait to contribute to your content one day. Good one. Look after yourself, my bro. Just keep it up, man. Keep up with the work. So 30 minutes then. This is when this motherfucker's going to be talking about crypto. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, plans are still there, to be honest. We'll see what happens. You know, we're reacting at this 25% range of the weekly. Christian's saying, let's do it. Sure, let's listen live and watch PA. Alright then. What time is it? 12:30? We'll do another. I'll do another stream. I'll do another stream. In 9 minutes. Fuck, let's carry on then. Fucking, let's just carry on then. Has anyone got a link? Is it on YouTube? I can find it, I'm guessing. Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Power Life. Let's see if that's 5 days ago. So we'll go find something. He will make something up. This is a link I got from TW. So I've never done this kind of a long ass stream here. Let's have a look. So what I like to do is like this. It'll be a new one for me as well. Is to actually, you said it 2 times. I can't even see it. Where's the link? Pirate man, stop spamming in it. Oh, this is the title. Okay, let's have it. Opportunities. Opportunities and challenges of the tokenization of finance. Is this where like fucking my man Powell gonna be speaking, is he? Alright, so we got some time, to be honest. Yeah, we got some time anyway. So new kills are open. Let's go for a bit. Yeah, by all means, yeah, we'll watch it together, innit? We'll do the whole thing, and then we can actually open up a chart. What I'll do is I probably will do something like this. Let's have a look. So if I do that, no, if I do this like that, and then open up another chart for Bitcoin right here. Open this right over here, and that way, oops. There we go. That way we can actually watch what this happens, how it reacts with the chart itself. Yeah, I think that's how we do it. Alright, good. No, we don't collab at the moment. We're just very busy, you know, me and NJ. We've got different things going on as well. Like he's got his own thing going on and I've got my own thing going on. So we're just been quite busy. So you know, I checked up on the guy as well. Because obviously it's been a while, and he seems to be doing really, really well. So I'm quite happy for him as well. But we're literally got, you know, I mean, I don't know what it is. I think you know what it is when like work gets in the way and this and that, X, Y, and Z. That's what it is, man. So good to see him though. Good to see. I'm glad that he's doing well, man. You know, he's a good guy. Fuck it, let's just do this then. This is the first time I'm doing this. I've never done something like that, but so it'll be interesting though. But looking at BTC, I mean, let's squeeze into a couple of alts actually. Actually, you know what? Let me fucking have a cigarette, and then we squeeze in an alt or two in it. What do you say? Before we even actually jump onto these Powell speech and whatever, different direction always have. Yeah, 100%. I think that's what it is. You know, like he's got his own thing going on, and like I'm building my own thing as well. He's building his own thing. We're family at the end of the day, you know. We've got love in it. Yeah, grab a beer, man. Matic, you want Matic? Let's do Matic then. Do Matic in a second. What's Matic saying? Let's have a quick look at it. Yeah, Matic is perfect, you know. Again, range low, man. Range low. We'll talk about range lows in a bit. I mean, yeah, you know what? Let me make a cup of tea. I'll make a cup of tea in a second. I'll do the thingy because we've got 25 minutes before he chats. To be honest, I've never seen I know NJ does his little streams where he does his the reaction stuff with it and whatnot. I've never seen it. It's quite bad. He might not be happy with me saying that, but I'm gonna be honest with it. I haven't seen it actually. Because obviously by the time that when I'm done with my stream as well, and he does his stream around I think 12:15ish, around 12:15ish kind of thing, and we've just got different things going on. You know what I'm saying? So, team motherfucker get a beat. Dude, it's cold in the UK, man. It's really cold. Can't believe it's Tuesday, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. How you guys finding Tuesday, man? How are you guys? So where are you guys from then? There's 63 people here. Where are you guys at? I know we got a lot of Europeans. We got any Americans in the chat? Pirate, you gonna have a beer? It's too fucking cold, man, for fucking beer right now. Intriguers from India. India's always hot, bro. You guys don't even know what fucking. Oh, you're from Blue. Blue, you're from Brum. Where about in Brum? Lupu's from Romania. I want to go to Romania thanks to Andrew Tate. UK and Thailand. Yeah, you're from Thailand, yeah. India. We've got quite a few Indian brothers over here. That's cool, man. Hungary. Oh, you're from Hall Green. I was from Allen Rock. Allen Rock went to Acot Green, so which was next door to you. I went to Nine Stars, fam. Where did you go to? I went to Nine Stars back in secondary school, and then lived in Acot Green, and then I moved out to Solihull in 20. It's been 3 years. Shit, dude, motherfucker. On October 11, it'll be 3 years since I bought this yard. Nah, not been to Exeter. Croatia via Macedonia. 24 degrees in. I think Macedonia is beautiful. I'll tell you something. There was this girl once. I worked in a bank in it, and her name was Diana. She was a paying Macedonian chick though. Lovely, lovely lady. Now I've never been to India. New Zealand's a place I want to go to. Auckland, home to fucking Israel and Desanya. Shout out to Izzy. Bro, you went to Sutton Coldfield. That's the other side of fucking Bishop Vesey's. You're the Bishop Vesey's. I'm guessing that's where you probably would have gone then. American, Puerto Rico. Shout out to my Puerto Rican brothers. Germany's cold as fuck. Of course it is. Fucking Europe, innit? When I was in France, in Paris, it was nice weather, right? And I was there on the Friday evening, got cold. I went for a meal with the family in it. So basically, like on the Thursday night, I met up with Crypto Burb and everyone else. I'm from Birmingham in the UK. Originally from Mauritius. Let me know if you come to Australia. Do you know what, Goonie? I do want to come to Australia. I was half thinking of going to Mauritius in the summer. No, sorry, in the winter. It'll be summer in Mauritius, well down your ends. And I was half thinking if I actually go to Mauritius for 3 weeks, I'll do a week in Australia. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think I've got family coming over from Mauritius, coming down to the UK. So I'm gonna have to accommodate them and whatnot. So I might not come on. Once the family members tell me are they coming or not, then I'll find out what the deal is. Take care, Pirate. I'll speak to you in a bit. I'll chat to you in a bit as well. Melbourne, yeah, fucking hell, Melbourne's the place because you're not invited to mountains. Why not? Theo Trader said today funds, banks, repositions themselves when end of session, end of day, end of week, end of month, end of quarter, end of years. A Metropolitan College or something, can't remember. Daily 2-hour trek. Yeah, 2-hour trek, fuck that, man. I applied for thingy for Makeup Screen. I got to Bishop Vesey's grammar school, and it was a long ass trek in it, and I said, nah, I'm not doing it. My dad wanted me to go, and I was like, fuck that. I didn't tell him fuck that, obviously I would get smacked in it. But I couldn't do it, man. It's too much of a mission. So I went to 9 Stars. Then from 9 Stars I went down to Solihull Sixth Form for college for A levels. Fan of Country Clubs. Always trying to slide into Pirates DMs. Back to Essex for Christmas. Bless you, man. Going to try and hit you up. Yeah, 100%. If you come down, right, let me know. If you're nearby or you're passing by, let me know. 100%. 2 buses, bro. 50 to the cities and 909. Oh, fuck that. 905. Yeah. There's no direct bus in it. I mean, even when I had to get to Tushin during A levels in Erdington. I had to take the 11 bus, man, and even then it was like a 45-minute trek as well. We Island boys, 100% steam. That's what we are. We're Island boys. You know what? Let me make a thingy, a note here. So guys, those who actually joined in, we're gonna be watching the Powell speech together, and we'll see how the reaction is, and we'll see what he says, and we'll look at the charts itself as we go on. All right. So while we're at it, though, while we're waiting, actually, you know what? Let me put the kettle on. Give me a second. I'll put the kettle on. Give me a moment there. All right, just give me 2 minutes, right? No one wants a kettle? Anyone wants tea? Back in a moment, yeah? Alright, I'm back. I end up making coffee instead, man. What tea do I drink? Yorkshire tea. Yorkshire. Yorkshire as an English tea. If I'm gonna drink tea outside of England, I do love churak chai. Churak chai. Karak chai. Right, it's like a Pakistani drink. This is really good, good tea as well. And then if it comes to whatchamacallit, to fucking outside of that, really, my favorite is Mauritian tea. Mauritian tea is banging. All right, cool. Indian tea. I've never had masala tea, you know. Never had masala tea. Would love to try out, 100%. Right, let's quickly do. We got how long? We got 15 minutes before we actually got the Powell speech. So let's just quickly do the Matic chart, and then we can discuss this. Let me send out a tweet as well. Should I send out a tweet? Nah, fuck it. Never mind. Yeah, let's just do a Matic chart. We'll do a Matic chart and we'll see what's going on. What are we looking at? Okay, high time frame. This is what we're looking at. Okay, so we got the range high over here and the range low. You can see that's capping the market. Deviation, resistance, deviation, resistance. Come back down. We found once we get down below here, find resistance over here. Come over here. Steps back up. Find support. Oops. You know what? Let me just delete all this motherfucking shit. And let's just do this properly, right? So we got this low here. Let's focus on the low here, right? And you can see, right? We shoot back down, find resistance, sells off. See this low here? This low is quite important. Why? It gives us an indication on what's going to happen next, right? So this was the low right there, and you can find that price comes back down, does a stop run, comes back up, holds it, gets below it here, then comes back up and holds it as support, and then we shoot back into this range. If you look at this, right, this is how you actually identify a low. How you identify a low, you got this low over here, price does a stop run, comes back up, and there's a low. So this is the lower low. This has now become the higher low, and then that's a higher low, and then off we go. We make higher lows as we go along, right? So we've got, you know, the market structure is still a bit fucked up as it is, but we're at key area here, which is this. This is a key support. So would I be looking for shorts? No, not yet. When would I start looking for shorts? For me to start looking for shorts, right, we need to lose this low here, right? And then find resistance. That's my short, playing into this level here, and then squeeze into this SR over here. That will be how I'll be looking for shorts there. So again, just like Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, we're looking at macro support, right? So this is again the same situation. Now, if I draw in my levels, right? Let me delete everything else and bring up everything back onto the screen. We've got a couple of ranges here. The first range we want to talk about is this one here. This particular range was a Monday's range on the 18th of July. Let me double check that if that's correct. 18th of July, is it? Where's July? Yeah, the 18th of July made this range. We've been playing in this range for about 2 months, right? Over 2 months we've been playing in this range here, right? So we played in this range. That's the high, and that's the low over here. Support, resistance, deviation. We come back in, deviates below, and now we're actually above this low here, right? This, especially the range low. So now we're looking for bullishness, right? Again, if I want to play, if I want to go for a swing trade, right, I can literally do this, right? Let me just delete this for a second. Don't need this. Delete that for a second, right? I'm wrong over here, right? I'd probably keep a wider stop around here, this low here. Just give me a bit of a wide stop here, right? I'm wrong over here because if price comes back down, right, we're looking to take out this liquidity over here and potentially take out liquidity over here, right? So we have to watch how it works out there, and then we can start targeting the 25% of the range and the mid range. From the mid range, we go back to range high. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? So now, how do we play this, right? So we've got some like a couple of shit here. Let me just get my levels. There we go. This is a weekly range here. Is it a weekly range? Am I right in saying that? I don't think that's right. No, it's not. It's a daily range. This was like last week's Monday's range again, right? So I'm gonna make this as blue again. Change this black, so don't confuse the two together. All right. Now, what we need to see, right? If price gets back up, holds this level here, this will be a trigger to long it to where? The 25% range, which comes in at about 80 cents, right? And then from there, hold above it. Then we got the next set of targets. This will be the next area of resistance, this area here. And then we go to the mid-range. The mid-range comes in around at 87, just 86.5 cents, I believe. 86.5 cents, around that area. That's where he comes into. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we reclaim and hold it above it? Once we reclaim this high there, that'll be a trigger. That'll be a long, bring it back to the next set of targets, 75% range, and then to range high. And then from there, we'll see what happens. We don't really give a shit about that. But for the time being, all right, on the lower time frame, that's the a wider time frame that we're looking at. Looking at a span of 2 months worth of data that's actually trapped in the range itself. But at the same time, we're also looking at this. The price is stuck into here. One second. Give me a second, guys. Yeah. So where price is getting stuck into here. So this is what we're looking at, the focus there. So now if I start to drop it down onto an hourly, let's have a look what will happen. What does the price action show us there? So the price action shows this now. We are finding resistance. Where are we finding resistance, right? So it's off this area here. See this area here? That's where the resistance is. Confirmation for longs, get back above, hold above it. This is your trigger. Playing it back to the 25% of the range, which is at 80 cents, 80.5 cents. And then we could play it from there as we discussed going higher. So now the key is, do we see this high over here? Do we lose this low here? So now if I want to play for shorts, how do I play the shorts? I can enter a short right now with a stop loss above here. There's nothing wrong here. That's an aggressive short. It's an aggressive short, but we are wrong once we get this, once the high is taken out, because we're looking to actually reclaim it and go up higher. Now, if I want to get confirmation play, right, is let price do its thing, find resistance. The moment it loses this low here, this particular low here, finds resistance, that's my trigger, playing it to where? The 25% of the range. From the 25% range, we're squeezing it down to the mid-range. And that's what we're looking for, level to level play. And it'll just make sense at least to come into this area here. At least to come into right over here to there, and then squeeze into the mid-range. And that's what we're looking for. And that's the short play. And if we start holding above it, happy days, cut the trade, right? Because we're going to go a lot more higher. If we actually start breaking down, well, we got this level here. This is the quarterly range there, quarterly range low there. And that's the 74.5 cents target. And see if we can squeeze back into range high, a range low, sorry, 25% of range, and see if we can take out liquidity over here. But I do expect some sort of bounce in this area here, right over here, this area here, right? Because you can see price consolidated here, broke up, bounced off it, came back, capped to the mid range, held the range low, right, the quarterly range low, and off it goes to range high. And that's what we're playing in there. That's what we're looking for. Keep it nice and simple, nothing too complicated. There's no need to actually make anything harder than it should be. So that's Matic for you actually. Nice and simple. So that's the short play. Long play, like I said, take out these highs over here. Takes out this high. Right. You can go back into this area here and find support. Right. Reclaim this area. That's your confirmation. Off we go. Target 1. And then we see to target 2, how we react in this area here. And then take out these highs, and we go up to mid-range. Okay, as we discussed on the daily time frame there. That's pretty much it with Matic. Looks quite good though. Look at BTC, the dominance. Bitcoin dominance actually breaking out that. Okay, cool. So that's where we're at. So we found support there. Right, so looking like, see how we go to take out these highs, squeezing 25% of the range, see what happens. So we break down, come back in this area here, that'd be short. Bitcoin dominance go down. Or do we reclaim and hold above it, and then we start playing it into these level here, and then from this level there squeeze into the mid-range. And then all we're playing is we're focusing between the mid-range, oops, I can't even draw a straight line, mid-range, I still can't do it, to the range low. That's what we're looking at, right? So time being, price at the moment on BTC dominance is capped in within this area here. Okay, cool, that's it. So look what the dollar doing. Dollars actually, we just want it to break down now. That's what it is. We just want it to fucking break down. I mean, I was talking about this yesterday. We could do a stop run, right? So you see this area here? It's an area consolidation right there. Right from this low to this high there. Stop run, come back down, break down, and then do this. That'd be perfectly fine. But this high here at the moment is holding, which is all good. Confirmation is once we lose this low here, right? Break down. Come down below here. That's your confirmation for shorts. Send the market down lower, and I think they'll give some bounce on the euro and the pound sterling. Quickly, let's touch on GBP USD. I know everyone's talking about that. It's been fucking quite brutal. Monday's range. So this is Monday's low. Monday's high was here. Yeah, this is Monday's high, and look where we found support off. Right off the mid range. That we found support off the mid-range. This is the thing is with Forex, it's so much easier to play than crypto. It's slow, it's very, very slow, but it's so much easier to read. So the pound sterling, to actually save the pound sterling, this is what we're going to do, right? So we've had a nasty drop from this area here, okay? Let's play level to level. So if we're going to play level to level, right, we're coming to the mid-range. We are expecting price to come up and take out liquidity on Monday's high. This is Monday's high. Take out liquidity. If we hold above it, reclaim this level over here, then we can. I'll see us going back into this area. That $1. I think. The £1.12 area here. From there, we'll see how it goes. If we hold above it, carry on. Let's go up higher. Or if we break down, do a retest. And if we do a retest, this could be a consolidation, breakout, retest, expansion. We don't know, but we'll see how it goes. If it comes back down and start playing back into the range, showing it back down to the mid-range, back to range low. But like I said, I don't think they want to pump the dollar index that much, because look how fucking horrible this is. We've actually gone back down to this area here. We've taken out lows back in 1985. What the fuck we're doing at 1985's low? We're fucking in 2022. How the hell did we get there? I don't fucking know. It's a brutal world out there. But as you can see, this is a range bound environment. If I were to do, let's see, let me do something. Let me try something. A little thing in it. Let me do a little thing. Right. Let me do this high here from this high there. Let's have a look. I'm guessing it's come down to the 1.5. I'm guessing that's what's happened. Right. Just believe me on this one. I do think we've come to the 1.5. Let's have a look. Styles. Let's add on the 1.25. The 1.5. And the 1.75. Where is the 1.75? There we go. And lo and behold, look what happened. We've come down straight into the 1.5. You can't make this shit up, man. And it's gonna find support here. I'll naturally will have to find support at least to, and then play it back to this to 25% of the range, which is $1.12, a £1.8, a £1.12, and then see if we can get into to range low. Then the question is this a deviation? And if we step into it, it is a fucking deviation, or is this a retest for us to go back down lower to this area to mid range, go to £1, and the £1 go down to 94 pence? That's not fucking good. That's not fucking good at all. But that range bound environment is perfect though. It's a very, very clean range. Look at Euro GBP quickly, Euro USD quickly before we even touch base onto the thing. I think they're going to start in a bit, and then we'll see what's up. Euro USD, let's see what happen is. Right, let's see. Fuck it out. So we come down to this area here, these highs here. Naturally, like I said, this low here to this high here, it is an area consolidation. Price was consolidating. Oops, let me draw this properly. Let me move this up. There we go. You can see. Right, let me remove this. I don't need this. Fuck that. Right. From here, from this low to this high there. And you can see how price reacting there. So look at this consolidation. Got up, find support right here, shoots up. Naturally, when we have a consolidation, this is the original base of the consolidation. Right? Here, we had consolidation from 2000. The year of, let's just say, yeah, from 2000 to 2002. So we had 2 years worth of consolidation, right? So, oh, fuck off. 2 years worth of consolidation, right? And it just so happened that come back up, retest. This is bullish. For swing play, I mean, a hard stop, I'll probably put a hard stop over here. A hard stop on here on a weekly. And then see if we can hold above it. And then let's go into this area here. From this area, see if we can step back into it, mid-range, and then range high over there. This is a range bound environment right there. So we'll see what happens. All right, we're 28 minutes. So let's go and have a look at what Powell is speaking about now. All right, so she's going to be chatting a bit of shit, this lady is. Let's see what she's saying. Okay, cool. 1 second then.
And it's a demonstration of how the European Union is supporting efficiency on financial markets, something we want to encourage as we develop the Capital Markets Union. The second major step we've taken is the proposal for regulation on markets and crypto assets, or MiCA. The Parliament and Council reached a political agreement on this regulation in June, again at the end of the French presidency of the Council of the European Union. So a big appreciation to my French colleagues for this substantial volume of work. The whole thinking behind MiCA is to support a crypto asset market and allow innovation, but to do so on a sound basis and addressing the risks I've already mentioned. So we want to root out the bad actors. We want to provide the consumer and investor protection that just doesn't exist in this area yet, and to set rules for crypto asset service providers. MiCA will bring crypto markets into the regulated space. And under MiCA, the crypto asset service providers will be subject to both prudential requirements and rules of conduct. It will also require actors in the crypto asset market to disclose information on the environmental and climate footprint of crypto assets. Crypto markets will be supervised by regulators that will be able to intervene if there is any evidence of market abuse or activities that may lead to financial instability. So this regulation would mitigate against the kind of turbulence we saw earlier this year for so-called stable coins. It sets out strict requirements on establishment, authorization, and reserve management of any tokens, which refer to an official currency or a basket of assets. That includes EU direct supervision for these so-called e-money tokens and asset reference tokens that are systemically important. Central banks and the ECB, as well as the EBA and ESMA, will have important roles to play in this new regime. We've also extended the transfer of funds regulation to the virtual and crypto space. Just before the summer, the co-legislators reached agreement on this regulation, setting new rules for transparency of crypto transfers. And this will bring much needed transparency to these transfers, helping to address a new vulnerability in our fight against money laundering. These rules will enter into force at the same time as the MiCA regulation. While addressing risks in the crypto asset market, MiCA and the transfer of funds regulation will give legal certainty to market participants and promote innovation in the single market within a framework of clear rules. Service providers will need to be authorised in the European Union. But once they have that authorisation in one member state, they will benefit from our financial passporting system to offer their services throughout the EU. And indeed, the EU is among the first in the world to design such a comprehensive regulatory regime for crypto assets. And I do believe this regulation will allow crypto markets to develop on a sound basis. We hope that European firms will take advantage of both these pieces of work, the DLT pilot and the MiCA regulation. While it is noteworthy and good that Europe is a trailblazer on crypto regulation, it's also important to recall that crypto markets are global markets. And that means we need international coordination. And that goes too for decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is all about providing financial services without a central intermediary like a bank or an exchange. And all of this challenges both international standards and EU rules that tend to be based around entities. In fact, it challenges some of the fundamental aspects of the financial system as it currently exists. And here in the Commission, we're monitoring the developments and risks in this fast-moving area very closely. Central banks, and indeed we've heard already, have not been idle throughout these many changes. One of the main roles of central banks is, of course, to issue physical cash and oversee the monetary system. So central banks are carefully watching and analysing the consequences of money and transactions moving online. And central banks are centre stage when it comes to central bank digital currencies. And the Atlantic Council reports that over 100 countries are exploring a central bank digital currency. Just 10 have fully launched a digital currency, including Nigeria, one of Africa's fintech powerhouses. And indeed, I know that Banque de France is very active in this area. We've worked on cross-border projects, rather you have worked on cross-border projects with Switzerland and Singapore. And you're also involved in the Digital Euro project. So let me just say a little about the digital euro. We in the Commission are working closely with the European Central Bank on this project. In a digital world, the digital euro would provide a public money alternative to private means of payment and as a complement to cash. It would offer additional payment options to people and businesses across Europe, new options for online payments, offline payments, peer-to-peer payments, and many more. And it would be a complement, not a substitute for private initiatives. The digital euro could be significant for people and businesses, and we need to thoroughly consider the possible consequences and, of course, to consult as widely as possible. And this all led the Commission to conduct a targeted public consultation, in addition to the consultation work already undertaken by the ECB, and we undertook our work in 2020. We got a lot of responses to that call from citizens and businesses. There are many important questions to consider, and this will all be informing our progress on this project. I think it's fair to say that the Digital Euro project was met with a lot of interest and support, although some financial institutions were asking about the potential impact of a digital euro on their business model. So some examples that were raised, several respondents pointed to the risk of disintermediation of banks and financial stability risks. There are big risks that we need to guard against, and we should also look at the role of private market participants in the distribution of the digital euro. Some who responded felt that the digital euro should focus on complementing what's already on offer by the private sector, while others saw the potential for new innovative features, like machine-to-machine payments or programmable payment functionalities. All respondents concurred that people-to-people, and offline payments would add the most value for users, mirroring cash payments. Privacy was a big concern for citizens who responded to our consultation, so we would need to provide privacy while balancing that with the need to
See,
address
the
the
thing is,
risks
right,
of
she's
financial
chatting a lot of stuff right now, right? Which is not a problem. But nothing's happening to the chart, though. I mean, if you look at it, I'll bring this down a little bit, right?
cash or not. So in the Commission, we plan
Let
to
me just bring her
propose
down.
legislation for possible digital euro in 2023, and this will lay down the principles
Yeah.
for the digital euro.
It's just
And the European Parliament and
basically
Council
what it is,
led
right?
the
The key thing,
opportunity
really. Let me bring this down. She's talking about like Mika and how they're gonna actually do like you know, how they're gonna bring digital currency together, X, Y, and Z, that kind of stuff. But nothing's really happening. I mean, there's no bullishness or whatever. I mean, we need to wait for Powell, to be honest. You know, just wait for Powell to actually do the whole thing. Head and shoulders on the 15-minute time frame. Let's have a look. 15 minutes, yeah. You're talking about this one, isn't it? Right here. It's nothing major that they're talking about, to be honest. I think it's all bullshit, really. Doesn't EU want KYC for all? Yeah, they do. I think they're chatting shit over here, to be honest. This is the area of consolidation here, and nothing's happened. Normally, when you have like big news and stuff like that, you get a massive spike up, and then a massive spike down, and this and that, and then blah blah blah. Nothing's happening, man. You know, it's all bullshit, really. She's chatting a lot of shit, man. I think we need to get her off the fucking show. Say, yo, listen, bring on the main man, bring Powell in. But you know, while she's chatting shit, let's have a look at AVAX, man. Omar's asking for AVAX. Let's fucking do AVAX then. Quickly, just look at AVAX. They're talking about decentralized finance. Listen, I'll bring it up.
This new ecosystem holds both opportunities and risks for financial firms, the financial system, and the wider society. So we need to address the risks if we want to benefit from the opportunities. But I think all of us here today are certain of one thing. The old ways of finance and banking are already being overtaken by new, digitalized means and solutions.
Yeah, it
Rules
is.
and regulations are essential and must be tailor-made to meet this fast evolving and exciting area. Thank you.
Alright then, so she's talking about like they're gonna bring digitalized finance. We knew about that. Mika, that's why Mika's there. You fucking dumb shit. Mika was
Thank you.
So look.
Thank you very much, Mayred, as you speak wonderful French. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup,
If
motherfucker.
you allow me 2 words of European pride, Europe is seen as complex.
Europe is seen. Shut the fuck up, man.
But it's very good to see how we can deliver on regulation. And second, Europe is not seen as especially innovative.
Guys, listen, I'm telling you now, right? They're going to try and regulate this now. They're going to try and regulate this whole thing in 2022, right? The fact that Bitcoin went to 69k has gone down to 2017k, they want to regulate the shit out of it. And once they do, trust me, we're not going to have this 10x move, 100x move. That's not going to happen. It's over, right? It's going to move like Forex. That's the whole regulation process. That's what they're trying to do. And I believe in 2025, that's when they're going to get it done, right? Towards the end of the bull run next time, watch this. 2025, right? When towards the end of the bull run, they're gonna say, yeah, crypto is now regulated across all. They're talking about this. 100 countries gonna accept it. Nigeria, this and that, whatever. All that shit they're talking about. Trust me, it's a matrix. It's a matrix. I know what's gonna happen. It's all in the fucking mind, and they're gonna try and control the whole thing because there's no way they're gonna allow decentralization to run. There's no way no government wants decentralization to happen. Why? If we have decentralization, what happens to us, right? We can actually move our money freely and no one knows our shit. The bank doesn't have any control on our money, right? Like right now, in 2017, 2018, right, when the bull run happened, banks in the UK, I don't know about around the world, banks in the UK, like Santander, a bunch of others, right? I don't know about the others. NatWest, Santander and NatWest, I had friends who had NatWest banks and Santander banks. They got blocked from withdrawing from crypto assets. They got blocked. They wouldn't allow it. They got fucked over. I had Barclays, I have Lloyds. Those two banks were perfectly fine. And they're still fine right now as well. I have no issues whatsoever, right? But they're going to regulate this shit. And once they regulate this shit, it's over. Trust me, there's not going to be a 100x move. It's over. So you have one more year. I'm telling you guys now, right? And this is for you guys. You have 1 year. 1 year to, one more run to make this up. If you can actually blow this out the park one more time, right? And you learn how to technically analyze a project or technically analyze Bitcoin, crypto, the whole thing, you're going to be okay. Trust me. I've given you the keys over and over again. I'm giving this to you over and over again. by all means, you can always join DCC. We'll always support you. And when I'm cashing out at the top, right towards the top, I'm cashing out for good. I don't see myself coming back into crypto. I'm done. I'm gonna be done, and that's the plan. I'm telling you, 2025, 2026, I'm gone. That's it. There will be no more Dankins over. I don't think crypto will ever do the 10x move 100. Look at degen coins. Degen coins are getting fucked over left, right, and center. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna fucking try and control this shit. Decentralization is not good for people. They're not good for the banks. It's not good for the for what you call it it's not good for thingy for these banks. They don't want it. They don't want it at all. Trust me, they do not want it at all. What they want to do, right, is they just want to control the whole situation by saying, yeah, we're going to actually, monitor this and that, and we're going to actually try and actually bring everyone together. We're going to try and actually, resolve a whole situation for you guys, such and use crypto, because crypto is the future, because now we believe in crypto. Shut the fuck up. It's not crypto's the future. You just want to control the whole thing, so we can't make our gains. You want to put us in the fucking system. Trap us in the system forever. And that's all they want to do. That's what governments are good for. Like, they don't want to hear this as well. I'm telling you, they don't want to hear this. I might get fucking fucked up over for this shit. But fuck it, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe that they're going to actually look for a way to make it. Because if you're making money, why are you making money when you're making money outside the law of what's given to you? Your normal money you should be doing is 9 to 5, a 9 to 5 job. Why are you at home, sitting on a computer, doing work? Because we need engineers, we need builders, we need fucking construction workers, we need people that should run the water, the electrical grid. We need people like that. So go over there and work. But no, you guys are making so much money, six figures, and you're gonna be at home. Who's gonna run all this shit? That's what they want. They're scared. They're scared of us. They're scared of what we can do in crypto. See what this fucker say.
Financial stability. Let me start very briefly without going on too long. We started with crypto assets, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, generally speaking. Problem there, major volatility, instability, lack of stable pricing. Next iteration was stable coins, which tried to address the issue of instability of cryptocurrencies.
ETH is breaking out.
Based on using crypto stable coins, the idea has been to use different decentralized protocols and consensus mechanisms plus cryptography to further the application of digital assets to financial transactions. Therefore, DeFi has been created.
Don't get too excited, guys, alright?
To say it has been a quite...
DeFi. They're talking about DeFi now. When we were talking about DeFi back in fucking 2021, they weren't talking about DeFi. Now you're talking about DeFi. Shut the fuck up. Who are you fooling, man? Don't get too excited about Ethereum as well, by the way, guys. Ethereum's looking good. It's all good. But let's have a look at the 15 minutes. Right? Market structure's still looking bullish. You can see. We're taking out this high there. It's all good. Now what we need to see is this now. Okay, let's go on the 1 hour. Let's see how we close. Close over here. Remember, we got this area here. We talked about this already. Let me bring this up. Let's bring it down. This fucking nonsense talking over here. See what's happening here? We talked about this early on. We talked about this range bound environment. You can't make this shit up, right? They're not doing anything to the market anyway in terms of with Bitcoin. I don't think any push, but yep, we're gonna push up high there. That's all good. If we take out these highs there, that's it. Then to actually start looking for longs. I mean, you can, like I said, you can start looking for longs. Not a problem. If I were to do so, let's go on the 5 minutes. See what's happening in the 5 minutes. I want the 5 minutes to close in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. So we got a nice close on the 5 minutes. Happy days. Let's see what we got here now. Right, this is the first time we close on the 5 minutes since we had this fucking nastiness over here. And even this nastiness over here, look at this. Push up, right? Then sells back down in the next 5 minutes. All right, so let's see how this works out the next 5 minutes. Be a bit patient here. Give it another 4 minutes 40 seconds. Let's have a look. Bring this up there. Right. Okay, it's pushing up, no problem. Let's see what happens. If you want to take a long, like I said, you can take a long. Play a range bound environment game here. Let's say this is the high over here, and this is the low over here. Let's have a look at range bound environment. Let's bring out a Fibonacci. See what we got at this pre-ass Fibonacci right there. This is the low, and this is the high. Let me delete all this. We don't need this no more. 2, Mika. So you can see how this happened right here. Let's just delete this here. Right. So now what I'll be happy with, right, is this. So you see how the price reacted over here? Chop in the mid-range. Deviation, finds resistance, heavy resistance there, deviates it, finds resistance, get back up, support, deviation in the mid-range, and then we take out this high here. Happy days is all looking bullish there. Right, we're taking out this high there. If you want to do a trend line, do the trend line. So, like I said, there's no rush. There's no rush to enter any trade or whatever. Just take it easy, man. Just take it nice and chilled. You know what I'm saying? Nice and relaxed. You can put a trend line here. You can put a trend line here. Where the fuck you want to do it. It doesn't really matter though. We're good to go anyway. But what I'm looking for now is see if price can come back down. Come into this area here. Find support. Reclaim. That I can start looking for longs for the targets we actually had in plan. So that's that there. At the same time, if we decide to go higher and it doesn't give me the pullback that I'm looking for, this see how it works out there. Because we had a nice clean smash on the 15 minutes. This is quite nice actually. I ain't gonna lie to you. On the 15 minutes, it looks like a really good smash over here. Just waiting for the pullback now. That's what we gotta do. Have a pullback. Know what I'm saying? RSI overbought Daink. Is it on 15 minutes and 1 hour? Like I said in it, like let's have a look. I don't really use RSI stuff and whatever, but let's have a look. Yeah, I can see what you mean. So what Christian is talking about. But then same, you can look over here. So like I don't use RSIs too heavily because look at this. Look at this RSI here was overbought here. Perfect. That's fine. Makes sense. Go back down. Overbought here. What happened there? It comes down lower, but price reacts to it. There's a stop run, comes back down. So yes, I do agree. We have a deviation there, come back down. We have a pullback. We're looking for a pullback. I would want a pullback. Like I said, I won't be looking for longs just yet. But I don't use RSIs to be honest, Christian. But like they're used for a confluence. Don't use that solely to actually take a trade. But yeah, so let's have a look. Let's see what BT is saying. BT is a nice little. So BT is doing some wonders over here, right? So BT, right? We're finding this area here. Remember we talked about this early on? This high here to this low over here, we're finding support. So which means, and I'm guessing right about here is around the mid-range. That looks about right. Looks about the mid-range, and we're finding resistance right at the mid-range. Resistance, resistance, resistance. So if we reclaim and hold on the lower time frame, take out this high there, then I can do a quick trade back to range high with a stop loss. I mean hard stop over here below the box itself, bringing it back into there. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. But at the same time, extend targets to the mid-range. So there's all that in play. The plans are all there that we did early on. So let's have a look. 5 minutes. Powell's talking. Let's talk. Let's see what my man Powell's talking about.
Your last question. I do think that the monetary policy normalization that we're seeing all over the world, all it did was simply reveal what we've long pointed out as
Look what's happening here.
structural
Dollar's breaking down.
issues in the
See what I mean?
ecosystem and conflicts of interest.
Here's the mid-range. The mid-range what we're talking about. We're breaking down. Here we go. Confirmations below here. All right, guys? You know how this works out, man.
Really the question is that within the DeFi ecosystem, there are
Bruv,
very
SC is the king, man. Motherfucking goat there. Shout out to SC. But like I said in it, when it comes to thingy, when it comes to like indicators, they're only there for as a confluence. I don't use them myself. Never use them in my life.
The good news, I suppose, is that the interaction between, from a financial standpoint, ultimately, that's not a stable equilibrium, and we need to be very careful about. And I guess we'll get to this a little later, but we need to be very careful about how crypto activities are taken within the regulatory perimeter. In any case, wherever they take place, as Augustine pointed out, there's a real need for more appropriate regulation so that as a DeFi expands and starts to touch more and more retail customers and that sort of thing, so that appropriate regulation is in place.
Come back to regulation in our second part. Ravi, can I ask you a brief reaction also on this financial stability issue?
Yes, well, thank you, Francois, and thanks for the invitation to participate in this, and greetings to my colleagues, Augustine, Christine, Jay, good to see you. I generally agree with what Augustine and Jay have said. Let me add a couple of nuances. I would say it will be useful to distinguish the various components of what we call the crypto ecosystem. And I think the way the kinds of...
They don't even know what the fucking thing crypto ecosystem. That's how backward they are.
And what they mean for financial stability will be quite different. So if you look at, say, tokenized assets, for instance, there are many banks experimenting with this. Basically, you express the ownership.
GP, you're fucked up, dude. Let me wear my glasses.
And cash and bonds, real assets, intangibles, carbon credits have all been tokenized. These in and of itself, I think, pose lesser risk, but they're not the predominant part of the ecosystem, unfortunately. Although I think that's where the real potential lies. Then we have cryptocurrencies, for which I don't see any redeeming value, because they're meant to be used as medium of exchange within the distributed ledger, but we have all seen how they've taken a life of their own outside and are posing a range of risks, some of which Augustine has spoken about, ranging from consumer protection, volatility in value, money laundering risks, and even financial stability risks.
Money laundering risk, right? Like he doesn't even know. Like there's different ecosystems. Like in terms of like Ethereum ecosystem, you got the AVAX ecosystem. This guy needs to, I don't know.
And I think with the current monetary...
Yeah, he does sound like a spokesman for the rupee. What geezer?
It is, as Jay said, they're going to expose the excessive exuberance that has been attached to these cryptocurrencies. And I think they're going to be affected badly. In fact, all of us on this panel, I think in our own ways, have been saying this, the risks involved in investing in cryptocurrencies, but who listen to central bank?
They're talking about, you see what he just said? Who listens to central bank? There's risk in cryptocurrency, but who listens to central bank? Motherfucker, I'm telling you, right? These guys don't even know what's going on. Even in stocks, there's risk. What are you talking about crypto? There's stocks in risk. The stocks is going down. Netflix is going down. Facebook is going down. Disney just blew down and whatever. You're talking about fucking crypto. Wow, fucking.
It's a medium of exchange because they're digital cash, they're programmable, can be put on the ledger, provided there are...
Oops, sorry guys. Oh, fuck.
More promise for stable coins, and almost by definition, they should, reflect the demand for underlying fiat currencies to which they are pegged. And so the impact of interest rates and all that will be really reflecting the underlying assets. So I think we need to make distinctions across the three. And DeFi is a totally different animal. All these things that we discussed in the crypto world can operate alongside the traditional financial system.
You see how that's coming up for a retest? Now we see how much the retest is on the 5 minutes, right? So, I'm bringing this down. So yeah, see how he's coming out on retest in the Ethereum? Want to be patient in it. You don't want to rush into anything left, right, and center. You want to be patient as well. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's coming back down as well. We're still in a range bound environment. We're still capped at this high here. This is the high that we're capped, right? So if it was going to be a short now, right? Now the short will be this. We're looking for a breakdown. Let's have a look. Let me bring this up.
You can't do that to an algorithm. And pinning that governance and risk management responsibility on the players that can make a difference in the DeFi world is exceedingly difficult.
Something like this. Get back down here.
If we can overcome, I can see some promise in DeFi. Otherwise, this could be a game stopper.
That will be your confirmation for shorts if you want to play the shorts on there. But then we have to look out for this one. This is thinking monthly open. But be very careful though. Be very, very careful. I wouldn't actually play just yet. The market isn't moving too heavy at the moment. It's not being very volatile at the moment. It's being quite controlled. But we'll see how it goes. The plans for BTC and Ethereum still there. I'm in no rush for entering any trades just yet. But my key is what I'm looking at is what the dollar index doing. We need to break it down below here, the 133.55, where we are right now. That's the mid-range. Confirmation again is right here. ES, what's happening with ES? ES is looking to go push higher as well, which is fine. If we take out these highs over here, takes out this high there, come back down, maybe a retest, hold above it. I can enter in here, stop loss below here, for example. Confirmation will be right here. That's for ES, and we're playing it higher. Okay.
Do you prefer to focus on central bank response in the second part? Please, you are very welcome. Bonjour.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Thank you so much. Bonjour, François, and thank you so much for having us. And I think it's very fitting, actually, that we discuss this enigmatic
Daink Country Club. He's a lunar investor.
such a stormy way, right in the middle of the museum in the world that keeps probably the most enigmatic painting, Mona Lisa. So thank you for having us in the Louvre. It's just perfect. So just 3 points that I wanted to share with you, which I keep thinking of in relation to crypto assets in general and the impact it has had. First of all, the evolution has been stormy. It went from this sort of cultural hype pushed by libertarians, promoted by Satoshi Nakamoto in his wisdom and total anonymity, to being this tool that is now accepted by the PayPal, Visa and MasterCard of this world, and which has been abused by whether it was Terra or Luna, but certainly Mr. Do Kwon, who is on the run, is the other side of that.
He's not on the run. He's not on the run. Do Kwon is chatting to SC. You know, did you guys see that yesterday?
Both Jay and
But
Ravi.
see how she's much of a hater. This woman just fucking hating on this shit.
Critically important is this search for yield, which has clearly encouraged and accelerated the process at times when across the world we were in the lower bound and where interests to be earned were limited. And third, the world was caught by surprise. And from these regular statements that we all made that, oh, of course it was growing, but it wasn't systemic. Well, we're now at a stage where, you know, between 10 and 15% of Europeans and Americans actually have invested in cryptos in 21. And where clearly regulators, consumer protection agencies, supervisors are now really attentive to developments.
Let's look at Luna.
Three interesting aspects. This
Oops. Why do I keep pausing back then? Yeah.
cultural evolution, the search for yield, and the world caught by surprise that I associate with the development of cryptos that I will go into further details in the second part of this session.
Look how she
Also,
talks.
thank you.
As soon as she talks, it's like dumping.
Very much
As soon as she
to the
talks,
four of you.
fucking Luna's
By the way,
dumping.
technical
You can't make this shit up. What the fuck is going on?
I wonder if each of you can be on mute when you don't speak, but we could hear quite well. So we come
Yeah.
to the second part.
All right,
about
cool.
the responsibility
So
of
now,
central
when it
banks.
comes to Ethereum, right, now we want to see this happen now, right? If we're going to be bullish now, got a range band environment. Right now, this is a deviation of this range band environment over here on the lower time frame, okay? Let me maximize this for a second, okay?
And all of you have said it's a question of combining regulation
Right.
and or innovation.
It's a combination of you see what they're saying? A combination of regulation and innovation. What the fuck, man? That's not a combination. That's just you trying to suffocate the shit out of us. But anyway, it is what it is. I can see price coming back into the mid-range, right? So if it comes back up, right? If I do a 1 minute scalp, let's have a look.
Christine, you intend to focus perhaps a bit more on innovation and CBDC.
CBDC, they're talking about these motherfuckers, man.
Focus a bit more on regulation. Perhaps people would have expected the US central banker to focus on innovation and the European one to focus on regulation, but at least it shows you that we are all on the same page of combining both. And Christine, if you agree, you start.
On the 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, thank Thank you so much,
5
François.
minutes.
And very briefly, by way of introduction,
Awesome.
the way it was, the disruption, and what we need to do, we central bankers, to stay ahead of the curve and be in the game. So the way it was and the way it is, in a way, is what you just alluded to, François. It's this combination of public and private money.
That's what we're looking for, right? If we were to be bullish on the time frame, and then if we want to, and then once it reclaims above and hold here, then we carry on with the longs going up higher. That's what we're looking for. This block has to hold here, all right? So be very careful and see how it goes. If it doesn't come into the block and does this price action, no problem. We can do that. We can play this one, but be a bit careful. Don't step in just yet, all right? Right now, we're in the New York time. Those who are actually in the Dank's DCC know what I'm talking about. This is the high of London, right? And look what happened. We did a stop run of London's high. If it was going to be bearish, we should start losing this area here, coming back into range low. So we'll see what happens. Play this level to level, but reclaim this area. Off we go. That's what we need to see. That's your confirmation to go. What? Something like this. This is what we're looking for. Then we can go for longs, okay?
In the last 12 months is clear indication of the fact that it is indeed a speculative asset, and certainly not a means of payment, not a very stable store of value. That's one aspect. The second aspect, which is more promising, and I will also agree with Ravi on that, is the whole sector of the stable coins.
Yeah, they're gonna put the blame on Luna because they got no one else to blame but Luna in it. That's what it is, and that's why they talked about Do Kwon's on the run in it.
But it is promising as long as we don't have players that abuse the system, that pretend that they have liquid assets to back pay stable coins, or that it's
Shots fired at free AC.
1-for-1 and Terra is followed by Luna bankruptcy. So.
Back to Luna. She's definitely got hurt by Luna, though. You can tell she got hurt by Luna. That's what she talks about, Luna.
This crypto universe that we are talking about. But it has created, and it has probably accelerated the desire for more innovative ways of paying, more innovative ways of transacting. And as a result, digital payments are clearly in high demand. And this is more so in some countries, less so.
Of course it's going to be in high demand, you motherfucker.
In Sweden, for instance, there's virtually no cash transactions anymore because cash is not there. Whereas currently in Austria, there is a referendum to defeat a proposed regulation to request that payments be not in cash above 10,000 euros. Well, in Austria, they would like to be able to continue to pay more than 10,000 payments in cash. So there is great heterogeneity in the request, but we can see in the surveys that we have conducted that there is clearly an aspiration, a desire for digital payments, much more so than it was in the past, and this is growing. We are now, in the surveys that we've conducted across the 19 members of the Euro area, we have more than 50% of the respondents who say, we want digital payments. Well, less use of cash, demand for secure and riskless payments. Where do we stand? We central bankers, we have been operating as...
Well, I'll talk to you about this in a bit, one second.
In relation to the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in that game, if we are not involved in experimenting, in innovating in terms of digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many, many decades. And we have historical examples of period where the central bank monetary anchor was not there, and that precipitated crisis after crisis. That certainly was the case at the time of the free banking in the 19th century. Do we want to go back to those days? Probably not. I would say certainly not from our vantage point, as a result of which we have to respond to the demand for those digital payments in order to maintain the role of anchor that we have been playing regularly. So what have we done here in Europe and with the whole Euro system, including all the central banks that are members, including notably the Banque de France, which has been very active, but also Banca d'Italia, Bundesbanks, and a few others, but certainly all around the ECB. We have decided early on to start experimenting discreetly and try to understand the concept, the preferences, the media that could be used, and the characteristics that should digital euro, as we call it. We're not the only one. Back when I started as president of the ECB, there were about 30 central banks that were looking at it. As we speak now, and I have nothing to do with it, the BIS, I think, has done an inventory of who is doing what in the zoo, and there's more than 100 central banks that are currently looking at CBDCs and exploring what characteristics it should have. So for us, it's the digital euro project.
They had a problem with CBDC when China did it. Now they're doing it. What the fuck you doing, man? Like, make up your mind.
Phase and prepare the post
From Spectre. Fucking Joe.
in the prototype phase, and we're certainly not ahead of the game because PBOC in China is ahead of us and a few others. But we are not doing badly in terms of timetable, and we are sticking to it. What I would like to do, François, is just very briefly go through the characteristics that we see as important. First of all, it has to be a convenient medium of exchange, that it becomes part of everyday's life for the Europeans. Number two, and why is that? Because the customers...
That's number one already. Number one is like everyday's use. Everyone's into crypto. Most people are into crypto, especially younger generation.
Easy and contactless payment, especially person-to-person payments.
That's done. Easy contactless payment. We can do it over thingy through blockchain.
A venture that you can go lukewarm. You have to be 100% sure that it will actually work. You cannot fail on that one. There are pitfalls, obviously, and
what transactions failed? As long as you send it on the right network, you're fine. Dumbass.
As a form of investment, it could crowd out commercial bank deposits and affect credit intermediation in the economy. So while we talk about DeFi, which is disintermediation essentially, and finance determined by protocol, the way we are thinking about it includes actually intermediaries and makes sure that commercial banks are part of the system.
Commercial banks.
We also believe that there should be well-designed safeguards that either...
Exactly, Goonie. Goonie's got it nail on the head. They had a monopoly of money for hundreds of years. Now the ECB, right, like all the central banks are having a problem with crypto because we're taking over. Because they're not happy with the idea that we're taking over and we actually have more freedom. So when we have freedom, they're not happy with it. All they want to do is just they want to stop you from actually growing any further. You're supposed to do a 9 to 5, and that's what the system teaches you. And school never teaches you to think outside the box. School never teaches you about thinking about a business. It's always about you go to school, you study, you finish school, you go to college, finish college, you go to university, do a good job, but then you come back home and you start doing a proper job. Do your 9 to 5 job, you go home, and that's it. You go back to work the next day and you work into a robotic system. It's always a robotic system. But here we are, right, today in 2022, and we realize one thing: we're not fucking robots. We do what the fuck we want to do. And crypto was out there. The original plan was a crypto to go against as a hedge against inflation. Yes, we are inflation. We are in an inflated market right now. Yes, we're not a hedge against inflation right now. We're working like stocks. I get that, right? But the idea of it actually being there for the everyday man, for the everyday use, for the everyday person to actually use it, pick it up and use it, and then do whatever you want to do. Hold your coins, hold your stable coins or whatever, and use that as a system instead of the traditional market. That's what they're not happy with, and they're not going to let us win. They're never going to let us win. It was never going to happen, to be honest, but that's why they're trying to regulate it. And I do think we have one more run. I think one more run and that's it.
More digital than it is at the moment. And in that respect, if the counterparties,
sitting with a big rock on the finger. Yeah, man, look at that fucking big, there's glistening in my eyes and shit.
Distributed ledger technology to be part of the improved infrastructure payment, then we should certainly be open to it and be prepared to endorse the digital ledger technology as part of this improved infrastructure mechanism. So well advanced on our way and moving into, as I said, prototype phase that will precede the decision by the Governing Council to effectively move ahead with the project. Thank you, François.
François.
Sharing with us in such an open and clear way your thoughts and questions on CBDC, including how to work with intermediaries. And I'm sure it's of great interest.
I've got a bit of an issue here, right? Everyone that's on that panel right now, it's old people, right? I've got nothing wrong against old people in it. But you got, if you're talking about innovations, you got to let these youngsters come into play. Someone who's actually intelligent, who knows how the system works. That's the type of people that you need on the board. Not all reptilians, you know? You know, that's what you don't need. You don't want these kind of guys actually standing there telling, yeah, we're going to work in a traditional way, this and that. If you're sitting there with a suit, how are you going to expect the masses to actually be on your side? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. If you want innovation, you want to grow as a community, and you want to grow with the everyday person. You're talking about like safety. You're talking about decentralization. You're talking about security. You're talking. All right, cool. Get an expert, someone who's actually young, who knows what the deal is. Get them on the board. Let them talk.
And brings better products to the public. We do favor responsible innovation, including in crypto-related services or products. I think back to the times when checks kind of became obsolete in a lot of ways, and we were very much in the middle of fostering that transition. The Fed is also roughly a year away from rolling out FedNow, which is an instant payment system that will make instant real-time payments available to the public through their banks. So the whole point of regulation, of course, is to create a level playing field that will allow us to reap the benefits of true innovation while avoiding the pitfalls of regulatory evasion. So turning to regulation, I guess I'll make a couple of higher level points about the regulatory challenge that we all face, and then talk a little bit more about stable coins, which I agree are to be thought of as quite different from unbacked crypto assets. So I guess the fundamental principle for all of us, is same risk, same regulation. Some of these crypto activities resemble traditional financial activities, and they need that. They need same risk, same regulation wherever they take place. There are also some novel activities, though, genuinely novel, that are really a paradigm shift. For example, replacing intermediaries with smart contracts or decentralized governance and control structures. And so these novel structures create potential new risks, and I think we have a lot of work to do on that. We've got a lot of work to do across both the more traditional looking parts of DeFi, but especially for the novel aspects of it. An example would be unhosted wallets, for example, which allow users to custody their own crypto assets. However, they can also be used to evade sanctions or engage in money laundering. And there are other novel aspects of it that are quite challenging. Not least, as I guess two of my colleagues have pointed out, the fact that this is a borderless world, and just we look to regulate an entity, and as I think Robbie pointed out, if that entity is an algorithm, how do we do that? So there's a lot of work and a lot of thinking to do to determine what practices are acceptable, which ones are flawed and predatory, what can be done to address these problems.
You know what it is with power? Why he's finding more, he's being more crypto friendly, because he has to accept it in a way. It's gonna happen. I mean, you can dump it down as much as you want and try and actually and be against it completely, but you were against it in 2017, against it in 2018, same in 19, same as 20, same as 21, 2022. It's been 5 years now. Time to change sides. You know, you're either with us or you're against us. That's what it's like, right?
So those are some higher level points on stable coins in particular. So as I think others have pointed out, most of the usage of stablecoins now is on the crypto platforms. In effect, stablecoins are a money-like asset that is used to settle transactions on DeFi platforms. But many stablecoin issuers are talking about it, and there's a great deal of interest, I think, everywhere among potential stablecoin issuers to reach the general public more broadly, including retail payments and that sort of thing. And I think, so that's really what our main focus here from a regulatory standpoint is should stablecoins be used in that way, much more broadly, much more public facing?
Don't be worried. There's gonna be USDT FUD by the sounds of it. If they're talking about your stable coins, they're gonna have a FUD on USDT. It's gonna happen. It happened all the time.
Agencies under the leadership of the Treasury Department put together a proposal or an analysis and a proposal, and we encouraged Congress to pass legislation, which we think is needed for this kind of stablecoins. I'm happy to say that the House Financial Services Committee here in the United States is working on a bipartisan bill. And that's a very constructive enterprise. I will say that from the standpoint of the Fed, the central bank, we think that the central bank is and will always be the main source of trust behind money. Stablecoins essentially borrow that trust from the underlying.
For Ethereum, We've come back into this area. Let's go on the 5 minutes. Let me talk about this for a second. So look what happened. Exactly that. What we talked about. What did we say? We wanted this to hold. If it was going to be bullish, this is to hold. And look what happened. Where do we wick into? Right here. Didn't come into the mid range. No problem. Now about range high. Now if you want confirmation, for longs, break above here, reclaim, fucking less long your longs, off we go. So it's all there. It's all there. What trust central banks? Fuck the central banks. Anyway, they got our money anyway. But yeah, that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this as well. Bitcoin, same thing. Bitcoin, here we go. Time to go round 2. Let's go. I'm gonna go on to a long, to be honest.
So that's our principal focus now, I would say. Turning to your question, so cash is not disappearing here in the United States. We still use cash quite a lot. It is declining, not in absolute terms, but compared to non-cash payments, it's declining. And we're motivated by really what Christine was saying, to look very carefully at the potential costs and benefits of issuing a central bank digital currency here in the United States. So we agree that the central bank has always provided the stable, trusted anchor for the currency. That's really perhaps our most fundamental role as central banks, one of the most fundamental roles anyway. So we're looking at it very carefully. We're evaluating both the policy issues and the technology issues, and we're doing that with a very broad scope. We have not decided to proceed, and we don't see ourselves as making that decision for some time. We see ourselves as working in collaboration with both Congress, of course, but also with the executive branch, which brings expertise to many of the issues that we have to deal with here. And at the end of the day, we will need approval from both the executive branch and Congress to move ahead with a central bank digital currency. So we see this as a process of at least a couple of years where we're doing work and building public confidence in our analysis and in our ultimate conclusions, which, as I say, we certainly haven't reached yet. I guess I would just say that's where we are. We've got a lot of work to do. There are many more things to say, Francois, but I'll stop there.
Comments, in my view, about central bank money, trust, and stable coins were very enlightening. Do you allow me one further question, Jay? Listening to you, I was thinking that perhaps dollar-based stable coins are not that different from MMF, money market funds. Would you agree with this parallel? And could it mean that their regulation should not be that different from the regulation of MMF?
I think, Francois, that's a very reasonable observation. If you think about, and these are not the stable coins that are being used on the crypto platforms. This is a world in which stable coins are being offered more to the general public. So they have aspects of bank deposits. You could say they have aspects of money market funds, and of course, both of those are very substantially regulated. And appropriately so, because the general public will look at, I think we know from our experience over time, they'll look at a form of private money like that, and they'll assume that it's money, that it's money